It over to the big desk.
Reno's there.
Hey guys, yeah, 2 o'clock. Welcome in on a Monday afternoon here as we head towards the close and what is turning into, yeah, pretty flat, kind of sideways, nothing day really as we await, as Sharif was mentioning. Inflation data to come tomorrow. I was just checking out Amazon here, chopping around on a note regarding some job cuts in their gaming unit, part of a broader restructuring for Amazon. There was that initial move downside, but we're just kind of sideways now around that 142, 143, or 142 and a half, 143 range, 0.45 downside. Eli Lilly, meanwhile, having a great afternoon here, almost 3% to the upside. Wegovy apparently showing promise with heart disease as well. There was a move downside initially here this morning on a note I saw suggesting that AstraZeneca might be developing a more quote-unquote cost-effective weight loss treatment as well than Eli Lilly. But right back to the highs. Tesla, another one. We'll get into this as we get going here this afternoon. 4+% here, back higher for Tesla. Oil, as I'm seeing right now, back to day highs as well, up 1.6%. But yeah, 4+% here for Tesla, leading the way as far as the dark green on this board is concerned. There is more positivity in the healthcare group outside of Eli Lilly as well. So a little more green, a little more positivity across this entire board than we saw throughout the morning, even with the market overall kind of chopping around, not doing a heck of a lot. Basically flat for the S&P at the moment. PG, Coke, and Pepsi there making up most of the gains as far as consumer stocks are concerned. Walmart with a nice day. Yeah, we're going to get into some retail earnings coming up this week, including from HD, down 1% so far today. Banks have been generally weak so far today. There are a few in here, including Citi, now positive to the tune of 1.6% on the day. But the rest of the banking sector flat to slightly lower at that. There's NVIDIA leading as far as chips are concerned. OnePlus, AVGO, Broadcom, AMD, and Intel all down to the tune of about 1%. Meta, Oracle, CRM. Yeah, new CEO I saw for Salesforce today after the former CEO of Salesforce left to go run Bumble. So good luck with that. Microsoft, Google, and Apple all downside to round it out. Yeah, I mentioned Tesla there on this new deal with EG Group in the UK. EG Group, they run gas stations essentially across the UK and Europe. So they're going to bring Tesla's superchargers over to both the UK and Europe, which is obviously a big deal for Tesla. So 4.3% here, trying to get back to day highs. Happy Monday afternoon, guys.
Monday afternoon to everybody else. That's oddly specific. The position board looks like it's having some hiccups. So
I keep getting in and out of Siri to try to show everybody because we're long Microsoft, which is a nice one.
It's not really, it's not really working, but that's fine. I only have 2 positions. I'm long Micron and short Nikola at $1. But
short Nikola? What the hell's wrong with you?
Oh, it's at $1.
Okay, okay.
Well, he's actually up today. So, I mean, the market's up. Anyways, Tesla 2 days in a row to the upside. What is going on? I mean, that's been a normal thing if you've been trading Tesla for a long time, but recently, not as much. It is going to possibly, I almost said for sure, it's very likely to close again above this 200 period. The good news here is, like, since it broke the 200 period on the daily, it's higher lows into what I think can be a breakout through to that 230 level. It just hasn't happened yet. Today is a very good continuation from Friday. Like, look at it's not really 230, it's a bad wick. It's more like 227 when I look at it on the 15-minute. That's why I like the 15-minute. That could come into play as early as tomorrow, if not remote possibility of today. I took another fill. It's still not working.
No, I don't think she's doing it yet.
Oh, okay, never mind. But Tesla, very strong flag here. The problem will be this battle that you're seeing up in this consolidation, so like 222 at the bottom, rejecting 226 at the top, pretty much precisely coincides with whether you look at the ES or the NASDAQ, this tight range that we sit in. So for most things that you are trading right now, if you like it, if you're bullish, you're long the bottom of the range and you're covering toward the top of the range. And if you like it to the short side, then you're shorting when the futures get to the high and you're buying back out. So in Tesla's case, if you like it, you're kind of going long 222. This is what I was doing with Meta, and then Meta finally broke. I mean, it didn't really even break that much. It's not through VWAP, but I was using a relatively tight stop because I feel like if it goes, it's really going to go. So we had a bunch of in and outs here on Meta. Oh, it's still holding 330. So if you're trading Tesla, 222 would be that range for you. But once this gets through about 227, Bit of a rocket ship potential for it. Oh, and if we're going to talk about EVs, I'm out of Rivian, but looking to get back in. We trailed out 16.25. It didn't get to VWAP, which kind of sucks, but it did bounce just shy of 16 even. So on the 15-minute, it doesn't look like much because Rivian was so bad on Thursday and Friday, but it's a 5% type of day. The EVs are at least somewhat back for the last couple of sessions. I like this back into 16. If you're going to play inside of the range, 16 to 16.35 in here looks pretty good for Rivian. But try not to force things. Like, we still won't break out of this range in the futures. I think you can get in trouble if you try to punch highs and short bottoms.
There we go.
You just get tripped up. Okay.
I got in and out right there. So, hey guys, welcome back. What a good show it's been so far here. Lots of opportunities. Yo, what's up, Fabian? Yeah, look, we're really excited today. We're going to the Raptors game afterwards. It should be a lot of fun. I do have a great Monday Night Football play for you as well. Neil won't like it, but it's going to be a good one. Wait for that.
It's losing. I don't even, but if I won't like it.
You won't like it. You won't like it, but I like it. So we'll see. Monday Night Football play tonight. Okay, so I see some talk there about scalping. Look, man, we're scalping Microsoft longs. We're scalping Apple shorts. I mean, it's all the same. We're really doing well here scalping today. We didn't screw up Tesla, but we were trying to short it into the high of the day there. But then as you can see, now we're just straight upside on Tesla. We wrote down, and this is, again, my bad. Like, it's fine that we're red on Tesla, but honestly, we wrote down here strong and long on the sticky note, and we didn't follow it. Nice dip down. We've always seen dip down opportunities in Tesla or rips to the high side. There's always like a quick move in the first 10 or 15 minutes. I thought that move was down, come back up, play the weakness off the 200, off VWAP. Those didn't happen. And then up we go on that one. So yeah, not too happy with my Tesla trading. That's the only EV that we have there today. But yeah, Apple Cash, Microsoft Cash Money, as well, as we wait to see if Microsoft's eventually going to break this little shelf right here down through 367. But so far, so good. Google AI investment time, baby.
Yeah, putting more money to work in the AI space. You were talking about Tesla quite a bit during the midday today. Pretty impressive, to say the least here. 4+% on a day when the market overall pretty flat.
Oh yeah, the market's really excited for that Elon movie that's going to come out. That's why we're moving up here, guys. No, in all seriousness, it's another validation for Tesla's technology. Another British company buying their fast charging stations there to the tune of about 20,000 to expand the 600 that they already have installed at some of their gas stations. So we'll have to wait and see how that works out. It's the second time that this has happened from England. BP coming out last month as well and saying that they're going to be spending quite a bit of money to expand their gas stations with EV charging. So let's see how that North American standard works out.
Yeah. All right. Move over Bard. Here comes Character AI, which is a new character-based AI building tool, essentially. Google comes out this morning, says they're going to put, quote unquote, hundreds of millions into character AI. Sounds like a lot.
Yeah, who could complain about that? And it's another way for them to test out their TPUs, Brendo. The Tensor Processing Unit, a competitor to the GPU in the AI field, they're Google made. So an opportunity for them to test them out. And this is another way for them to rival Meta. Meta, we saw last month coming out with information about how their chatbots are going to be. Some are going to be sassy, some are going to be, witty and sarcastic. So Google trying to get in on that game.
And then Elon came out and said, a sense of humor on ChatGPT is the equivalent to a screen door on a submarine.
That's so funny.
So, Elon always wins.
Yeah, he's pretty joke.
He's throwing a lot of shade. Yeah,
That's amazing. He throws a lot of shade.
But
it's like
of shade.
It's not that much. It's a lot of money, but like for a company that does like 300 billion in like revenues, like is it that much money? Is it though? It's a decent amount of money, but let's be real. They've been investing in pretty heavily in AI for years, and when you factor in how big they are, it's like okay, I don't know how big the news is. If you are trading this one, this is going to be very similar, or not dissimilar. Think about how I want to say that. Whatever.
Very similar.
It's very similar to every other stock out there. It's just if you have a defined, like I prefer the long in Google. At least that's what I was looking at today. But when you look at this at the highs, okay, you're basically at Friday's high. You're almost obliged to 132 long 132, like 65 to 70, which you're not getting because it's not really printing up there for the short. So I think that it's showing you exactly the same thing. Now, I thought it was a 131 kind of day where we'd be dipping back into where it broke out from on Friday. It didn't quite get down there, so no trade for me. There were other dip buys out there. Did miss this one, unfortunately. But this is a ridiculously tight range that you're seeing. Like VWAP to the top here, I guess you can go 50s. It's a 50-cent range. If you're trading Alphabet, this is what you're doing. You're scalping that. If you're trading Meta, you're playing off 330. It's just almost everything is looking like this. All that said, if you pop up the daily chart, again here, and I'm using my trade ideas one, you are running into potential breakout territory. That's a 50 period, which has been rejected. If it does get through the highs, I think you got that to contend with here. So I don't know if we're going to see anywhere near that today. File that away for next week or later on in the week, I should say, and that could come into play. It's been a very bullish run in here. You are at resistance. I think there's a host of names that you could take the top end of today's range and short it for a scalp trade. I just feel it's exactly that. It's a scalp trade. And if you try to get too far out in front, like if you were trying to short it here, oh, look, it's falling off the highs, you're exactly in the middle of the range. And then it just means you lose a quarter of a dollar on the way to the top to try and make that on the way into VWAP. So I wouldn't touch this right now. It needs to get to the top or maybe at least VWAP if you want the long.
All right. Yeah, just new position alert right now. It's going to be Meta, and it's exactly what Neil was just saying. They're trying to scalp it. We're long right now, right here at 97. So I'm only trying to get something out. I put my first offer 20s, so I'm only trying to get 25 cents here early because I'm dropping it off. If this doesn't work off here, then we want to get the heck out of Dodge for this name. So we're going to watch out for Meta right now. If we can get back up, great trade for that one. We haven't traded Google. It's on the sticky note. Same levels Neil mentioned there, 31, so 131. Didn't really come in to that level yet. So yeah, we're just on the other names right now, and that's including Microsoft and Meta, both those names long, and then short. We have semis at the end. We're still short here. We shorted, this was pretty much, we had left the show already, but that's going to be coming in soon. So I'm short Apple, short AMD, long Meta, long Microsoft. Look how much AMD is down. Look how much Apple's down right now. So relative to the market's trying to turn green. So we'll stay long on names that are a little bit stronger than the others and short on the weaker names. So Meta's actually positive. If Meta gets going, man, this could be a real banger here. So let's hope that Meta goes and we'll be able to celebrate that. But for right now, let's go talk about a name that I actually kind of neglected today, to be honest with you, Boeing.
Kind of back and forth, choppy action here. I mean, we get the gap to the upside and then back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. We've made a couple of new highs, but I just want to mention this real quick too. Newegg, I mean, they got a NASDAQ non-compliance this morning, and then they announced a $10 million buyback this morning, and then randomly at 2:10, it starts going crazy. So shout out to Newegg. A pandemic squeeze stock
I remember that.
from way back in the day. Trying to get back onto NASDAQ good terms. Yeah, let's talk Boeing. A number of new orders coming out of this Dubai Air Show this morning, two of which 52 billion and 11 billion worth. So that's not bad as far as Boeing is concerned. I'm sure this is a week-long show, as we were saying. More to come, maybe.
Yeah, the Emirates, the state-owned airline carrier of Dubai over the United Arab Emirates, making a $52 billion order. About 55 of those airplanes are going to be the 777s and a variation thereof, and about between 30 to 35 are going to be the new Dreamliner, the new 787. It comes as the Middle East really grows as a hub between East and West. 30% of all wide-body aircraft ordered from Boeing and Airbus, Brendo, go into the Middle East. So we'll have to see how that works out.
Yeah, I even saw a few headlines flying by for Airbus as well. Orders coming through for their competition. But nice look today for Boeing, guys.
Yeah, it was actually pretty strong today, though it didn't really present with much of a gap fill for the dip buy. The 200 level is more or less where I think everyone would have been looking at. Like, that was previous resistance on the daily. That's where you broke out from, so looked for that to pull back in. When the market was dipping early, it held on to 203, double tapped that, and then you got higher lows. I'd probably be in this one if it wasn't for like this breakdown here right late in the day. there we go, late in lunchtime. It made this breakdown off of 05. I'm like, okay, if it bounces off VWAP again, it's going back and forth. If it hits in that same low, I was looking to have the afternoon dip buy on Boeing as well, and then it kind of broke down, got an extra $1 to the downside. It's reclaimed that level. I actually like this now. I mean, obviously, it probably rinsed a few people that were long from the morning, might have got trailed out. So I think into 205 looks pretty decent for Boeing here. But it sucks in that there wasn't the chance to get it at the open at the levels I wanted. But the long was the right idea. It's gapping through. It's got positive news. You're trading in a new territory here for them. Whether or not it can actually sustain this move, the daily chart suggests that's very much up in the air. But at least for today, and for as long as we hold this 200 gap fill, I like the breakout and the continuation play for Boeing. I'd play it off VWAP in here. But you got to be very patient. Like the market it's giving you both ways here. So you got to be patient. I would not go long in the middle. I think you want it down around that 205. Chasing things is not going to get you anywhere.
Okay. Yeah, talk about chasing things. We didn't have to do that at all for this meta trade, so we'll just go awesome right there because we just gave this to you. Long at 330. We're long below 330 right now. We're long at 94s, and it's at 50 cents. So we take a piece out there at, like what I said, 25s, and now you're upside here, looking to get something out that's 330.75. So let's put a piece out for Meta right there, right now, as we just took this one. So 330.75 is going to be the 200 period moving average and kind of the high into here. So if Meta does get going, let's appreciate that and see if we can't get a little bit more on this trade. So nice upside move here for Meta. We'll see if we can keep it going. And then Microsoft also, we just got it almost $1. Well, that is $1, isn't it? 366.93, 80 cents right there, back into the high side of Meta. So market's starting to get going upside right now. I have yet to look at Boeing.
Alibaba, on the other hand, did give you an opportunity. We'll get to that in a sec. I was just watching Newegg here. Still, there was some volume that came back in on the downside, but nothing since. So dying off here a little bit. 28% move there for Newegg. Alibaba, yeah, did give you an opportunity initially downside, but really hasn't been much since. Again, another one kind of back and forth. We get back to positive on the day. And here we go, right back to almost day lows coming into play. It was data off singles day, going back a couple of weeks. Was it a couple of weeks? A couple of weeks ago? So across the board, some of these e-commerce platforms were seeing some action in the pre-market, limited at that, but we did fade off into the open.
Yeah, China's version of Black Friday, that's essentially what Singles Day is. It's supposed to be the world's largest shopping spree day. I don't know if that's accurate. Well, that's what this article says over here. Baba, PDD, JD.com. We've been watching for signs of them to see how strong they've been. We've been hearing a lot made about a squeezed Chinese consumer. In response to that, we've seen a lot of Chinese stimulus come into the market to achieve their 5% GDP growth per year. It was a decent day for ADRs. Baba, though, just went red, 0.22 south.
Yeah, just looking at JD as well, similar story overall, but it has been, or was a little bit better off initially this morning, but very similar looking charts here across the board, even PDD, guys.
Yeah, I mean, I did favor PDD. It just didn't quite. It was, to me, the more obvious top. As strong as it is on the daily, there's 112. It didn't quite make the run up to there this morning. Would have missed out. Like, there was an early pre-market BS fill, but through 111 at the open, like, this is where I was looking to get short. If it got into 112, it got to 111.25 or something. Eyeballs on this if it flat bottom breaks this afternoon. I just don't know that. Like, nothing seems to want to break down. Like, you've got these ranges. I know I favor this one short, but it's not really presenting you with an opportunity to get short the high, the lower high here above 110 or at 110, nor is it breaking down the bottom. I just know that after it took out or failed to make that top break, I favor the short until it gets back, I guess down to like 107 or something like this, where support is on the daily, or if it just breaks out through 113. But PDD was the one I liked to the south side. There wasn't any chance to grab it realistically. And then the other thing, NEO, at some point, NEO is getting to 7. Like, this is the other name in there. It's so very close to that 52-week bottom. It's just a matter of time before it gets there. Another day and close but no cigar for NEO to get down to that monstrous $7 level. On the other note, Li Auto was fantastic. If you're long that stock, that's the one of the three that looks pretty good. NEO might be up today, but that's pretty deceiving. easily, I mean, the level of weakness in NEO compared to the other Chinese EVs is pretty obvious at this point.
Yeah, that good on Sharif there. I know he's into Li Auto, so we could probably talk about that. He could talk about it better than us. But right here, Alibaba with a nice downside move, maybe to 82.50. That's where we are right now. The thing is, I've sort of hitched my wagon to a very similar trade with Microsoft and with Meta here on those upside moves, right? So I still feel pretty confident about where Alibaba is going, and I like it down here at around 80 bucks. I think it goes lower. We bounced off the 50 period there on the daily. Singles Day is supposed to be like this big, huge deal. It doesn't really appear to be like that today for them, as they are still red. Singles Day was November 11th. So again, until Alibaba gets going, I'm kind of want to stay away. I haven't put any Chinese names on any of my radars in the last little while. So for me, it's sort of a stay away here until, I don't really know until anything really. I mean, I'd like to look at this near 80 bucks. And then just look at it from there. So that's sort of my take. We're still long Microsoft and Meta here.
Tell them that story, because I think that's
Oh boy,
pretty
you're gonna make me look bad.
No, you're not.
So underwater was I, Li Auto. So many sleepless nights with this dang Li Auto. I saw a video on TikTok, my favorite social media platform, by the way. And this woman, she was creating a house inside of an SUV, and you couldn't really see the branding of the SUV. But so in tune was I with the interior of Li Auto that I immediately knew it was an L9, Brendo.
Interior. The interior. I thought that was kind of impressive. Let's talk about some semiconductors here. NVIDIA, first off, 490 coming into play a couple of times here today, but was rejected. But overall, a little bit stronger than the rest across the board, as we saw on that sector board when we came back on. This was this morning, new chip on the AI side of things, once again from NVIDIA.
Yeah, and Tower Semiconductor reported as well. They're not much of a big name, but they did have an association with Intel. You'll recall they were supposed to merge back in February 2022. That's not going to happen. So Intel will pay a $342 million termination fee here. That brings actual revenue for this company, which didn't report much. Tower Semiconductor reported about about $50 million here without that added benefit of the breakup fee. So not much of a look.
Yeah, one of the smaller ones, obviously, in the group. Rundown, as always, brought to you by, remember, this is on right now. Go right now, take advantage of it. It's 30% off, Trader TV 30, Trader TV 30, bottom right corner there. You can scan that QR code, get you 30% off for trade ideas. You get the web app version, you get the full downloadable version, you get data, you get everything. Trader TV 30, shout out to our friends over at Trade Ideas.
Yeah.
So both of us are chilly,
Big discount.
but I gotta say this, like I almost want to put my toque on because I got no hair here, and it's like this vent is blowing cold air right on top of me.
Directing right at your head.
I'm freezing, and Ramin thinks it's funny. Okay, I see.
Or her toque or something. Both these guys wearing toques over there.
They're literally wearing toques in the production staff.
And it's warm over there.
But you know what's hot today? The chips
You
are
have all
hot
the
today.
equipment. Like, imagine if it's cold over there. What is
By
it
the
over
way,
here?
there's like this big rack that you guys don't see that houses all the show stuff, which I'm obviously when you saw this morning, like a bunch of stuff went down.
Right.
But you can put your hands next to that thing, and it's basically like having like a space heater right next to the two of them. Anytime they can just turn and do that with their hands and warm it up, we can't do that.
You know?
We gotta watch the fire in the markets, hopefully get to the highs. Nvidia is up 1.3%. I'm in Micron, but let's go over Nvidia anyways. $500 seems inevitable at this point. It is a few days long in the row, or green in the row. You guys can see that here. You can count them if you want. I'm not going to bother doing it, but super strong day. It's just everything is consolidating higher. The reason, and just to get to this, the reason that I am in Micron, like you see all these barcodes? Well, here's the difference. Like, this is the only reason I am in Micron right now. You see, every other stock that I look at is barcoding off the top, barcoding. Whereas Micron was just trending higher, made a breakout, gave a dip buy, trending higher. So I think I want to stay long over in L Micron. Did I just get Intel? Okay, well, Intel's that view up. But You want to stay long this one, actually adding at 75, realizing it just broke out again. So this is stair step to the upside. I think it has a chance to go green today. And remember, if you look at the daily, 75 is this monster level on said daily. If it holds on to it and can get anywhere near Thursday and Friday's highs, I think at least a retest. 76 probably resistance based on Thursday and Friday, but you got a lot of room before you get there. Some things have been a bit range bound. I've been in both directions on Intel. I was short, reversed into a long. Short was good till it wasn't. Long was good till it wasn't. Then I was short near the bottom, stopped out there. So it's been like 50-50 back and forth here. But I am back to shorting it because it is trend down on Intel. So I want to respect that. Like these 50s on Intel, I think are short. But that trend on Micron, that's what stood out to me. On a day where everything is flatlining, it's been trending up throughout lunch and trending going into the close. Not too many names that can say that.
Right here, looking, making sure that we have the right outs. Microsoft right now trying to join the dollar club right here as well. Nice little move back up here, so that's going to be good. Meta, obviously, there it is right there. Spin it one more time for Meta. There's a dollar. We just gave this Meta trade to everybody right now at 3:30. So there it is, 3:31. Meta starting to go up. So yes, sir. Let's put it in the bag and keep on going here as we continue to have a lot of fun with everybody trading right now here. 2 days. So there it is. Nice move up for those guys. Are the semis a trade? Okay, well, we've been shorting AMD. We're up on this name today. I like it. I like it a lot. I think this is, again, something else that can continue to work here as we go. They're down today. So sorry about that, guys. So I do like the short. You just made a move to VWAP. I don't know where there we are. So now we're at VWAP again, a possible 117 here. I still remain net though, because I'm long Meta, a dollar in the money, long Microsoft, and almost out of Apple and AMD anyways. So this last piece of AMD short, I was going to get it out if we took out the top here, but maybe we'll just get ready to get it out sooner rather than later. So let's just say if this goes back against us, we'll get it out here for AMD. So I still do like the short, but hey, that's it, man. Good little rundown there. Tesla, AI, Google, Boeing, Baba, a little bit of everything for everybody there.
Yeah, a little bit of everything. And let's add one to the, well, because we're done. Yeah. We're done the rundown. We can come back. And I want to mention Disney here very quickly. Not just because the flop this weekend. And by the way, this morning, someone said in the chat, Neil, you're surprised that the Marvel movie didn't do well? Have you been hiding under a rock? I was being sarcastic. And the funny thing is sometimes sarcasm doesn't really come across. So anyone that actually thought that I was surprised that the new Marvel movie, whose title I don't remember, it's the Marvels. It's the Marvels. Disappointment. I think it was the worst in terms of the U.S. box office for any of those. However, let's keep in mind what Disney had for a report. It was a pretty solid report. It did make a sell-off on Friday after being a breakout trade. It was a breakout trade, sell-off on Friday at the same high. It's got the 200 period to deal with. And then today was the consolidation bounce. I mean, it's absolutely, if you look at it, breakout from 87.80 to 88, get into 91. I was looking for a 91 break this day. It just obviously never happened. But a bit of a bottom formed in here at 87.88 and a good level. I think if it gets to 91, you're fading it before any kind of a breakout. If anything, the way the market's going now, attempting to break out highs, the fact that Disney is rejecting this 90 level is not good. It fell apart here on Friday. It closed there on Thursday. I'd almost think you can almost short the 90 and the 91 as long as we're not screaming into the upside. So I'm going to give some things a chance to be shorts until they really break these tops. I mean, Disney, as strong as it is today, I look at that 90 level, I look at that 91, they're still very much in play for shorts. But again, the disappointment of that box office, I don't think that had anything to do with, like, everybody expected it to do poorly. I don't know why. I think they were probably being sarcastic back to you. Yeah, I know. Yeah, of course. Yeah. I mean, look. Most people, I think, were. Marvels or something? I don't know. The Marvels. It is just the Marvels. And for the record, I'm making the attempt because, I'm making the attempt to watch there's a TV show one as well. So I'm like, yeah, I'm actually watching that, and that seems okay. I was about to clean up a candle wick because I just got into Amazon. Let me just go over this first because I just got into Amazon. Talking about things at tops and bottoms, here is 142 quarter on Amazon. There is 142.5 on Amazon. It's about a 75-cent range. And if you look at it for most of the afternoon, it's about a 35-cent range. So I'm playing off of this top here. If we don't take out the highs, again, there's just lots of names that you can scalp. The other thing going on here with Amazon is it's so tight to the all-time high, not the all-time high, the 52-week top, that I feel like I want to play the south side of this, at least for that back and forth action, which we could still be in. Let's be real, like the market is trying to go higher, and the NASDAQ is very close to green. There's the ES, can't break the top. There's a NASDAQ at the top, can't break the top. I think you can still look for something short off the top. But I know I like that Micron long. Oh my goodness, Unity, oh shoot. Crap, Unity broke and I didn't have a stop order.
You might have heard us both just say some crap.
Yeah, Unity just broke a quadruple top at the quarter. So I'm going to
Unity
slip a, I said I would stop doing that one on Friday because I feel like I was overdoing it.
Probably were, but doesn't mean it's not good.
I did it. I did it a lot last week, so I figured I'll take a break from that, from doing it. But Unity broke a quadruple top. I'll try to get 28.30s on the way back in.
We were just watching out for this Meta off 330. Nice little upside move right there off of VWAP. So that's a good little bouncing move there for Meta as we continue to make, I don't know, new highs, new lows, whatever. But it's a nice call there. And I'm trying to stay in these names. We're still short Apple. We talked about staying short AMD until it breaks. We should have gotten shorter on that instead of the other way around there. So there goes AMD, nice order to the upside. I was too worried about getting stopped out as I thought the market wanted, I mean, 15.6 right now for the NAS is pretty high up right now, bouncing actually. Should have noticed that, man. We got pretty close to where we were on Friday. So that was another level there, 15,600. Wow. What a move up there as we got the all clear, I feel like anyways, to start buying a little bit of stock over the last little while. So that's a good move there. Why am I long Meta right now, Chris? I mean, I just sort of explained a little bit of where it went to. I know. And again, I know the market's falling down here, but that was $1 pretty clean. We still have a third of it. I feel like we want to get out if this takes too much lower. I don't want to turn a winning trade into a losing trade. But again, this is a pretty violent move back. So maybe the 50 period does continue to hold here. So yeah, let's just wait. Let's just wait on Meta. I mean, I don't have any reason to get out. We've already taken that dollar right there. We take whatever that was, 25 cents, $1. And now we'll wait to see if it does take out 331 and hold out higher than that. I mean, I don't know. I don't really, the thing is like if the market continues to rip and go green, which we almost got to right there, then we know that we have good, strong names in Meta and Microsoft. And then if it continues to go down, I know that I have good short names as well on board. So I feel like we're pretty nicely hedged here. As my eyes are keep going up, like Intel's at VWAP apparently right now. So we traded that really well last week, but I still like that 38 level. So let's have a quick look. Yeah, there it is, pulling back into VWAP again. So that's off the Trade Ideas scanner. You know, if you like the long, which I don't in the semis today, or the chip names, this is probably a good spot right here as well. So, yeah,
it depends on which one.
Lots of opportunities happen.
Like to me, there's a pretty decent difference between NVIDIA. Like Micron's trending up, doing its own thing. NVIDIA is doing its own thing. I don't know that Intel belongs in that bucket. It's down. Like the NASDAQ almost went green and the ES just went green. Intel's down 1.3% after rejecting the 39 level. So, you know, this is actually back under VWAP. I thought I had bids down here, but I don't. I've been back and forth on this name, and I feel as if I should have just stuck with the original thesis, which was only go short on Intel. But then it made this break, and I'm like, oh, goodness, such a tight range to break out has been a good trade for me lately on just about anything. But on Intel, should have stayed short. Didn't stay short, is what it is. Now we're back into it. Now that it's under VWAP, I want to make sure, or at VWAP, I want to make sure I'm getting something out underneath. I was going to get some bids out there and respect it. I did get into Amazon. Oh, yes. There goes that chart. I'll show my 15-minute, even though that's not that useful because it's such a ridiculously tight range. But it just pulled right back in. I was showing you how tight this range is up at the top. So once it goes like, if it's a 50-cent range, once it goes a third to half that, I'm going to take some out. Just respecting the range here on Amazon. That just kind of sucks because this chart will probably fill in a couple of minutes, but I am short that name. I'm short Intel. It's Micron that I am in the long of. I'm going to have to use the 15-minute for now. It just came right back in for a dip. I've been long this one pretty much since 74.5. It's the only thing that was trending up. So dipping back into it off that 74. Well, 74.5 is where it bounced. 74.70 is where we got in. So giving it back into that. It's the one name that was trending for me, so I wanted to be into that long. And we got it now. Nikola, this is probably the most simplistic concept ever. I'm short at $1. This is the consolidation. I'll probably reverse this if it takes out the high, but I'm short in here. I did trim some and then just get right back in. If it doesn't move, I'll probably just have to get out flat at the end of the day. But if it breaks to the downside here, I'm already on the bid. 98, 97, 96, all that good stuff. And if it takes out 02s, I just simply get automatically punched out. Now I got my stop order locked and loaded.
Just making sure here, my meta trade did not stop. So I was thinking about 330, 24. So on a stop out here for meta. Yeah, I mean, it does look like the market wants to go downside, right? And so if that does happen, then yeah, it's going to be a stop out for me there. So there's not really much I can do right there, hoping that meta eventually comes through for us back up to the upside. So we're still on that one. Debating just covering AMD as it's down here as well. And we're starting to bounce off. We should cover. So let's put a cover out at 72. Give it to me right now. There it is. Yes, sir. Spin it one more time. That's the cover there for AMD as we get out of that name. And just like me with trading some of these assets in our other pool here, maybe a little too early to get out right there. But let's just wait to see what happens.
Of whom do you speak?
We just took out AMD right now to the downside. Again, it just bounced 61s. We got off 71, so it bounced 64 there is the bottom of the 50 period or of the 200. So that's a pretty important level there for me anyways. So we'll watch out for that and get out. As there goes Meta right back up. Debating getting out at 331, honestly, and just call it a day. Microsoft has been tricky, but still a good name, obviously, as that just came right back in again. Let's put another piece out here at 50s on Microsoft, just because we got to get out. Like, we don't, Neil and I are both on the prop floor here, so we have to, edit our trades, get out at certain times, and that certain time is 4 o'clock, so we cannot hold anything overnight here. So we'll, have to sort of, it's only 2:40, it's still really early, but again, that's the scalping mentality. A lot of traders won't be able to do that like we do. This is what the platform is sort of made for. Oh, I do have a new position. I know it's the opposite way of Neil here, so this is not going to be good. Unity is my only red stock. We're red on Tesla and Unity, right? So, but the thing about this is, yeah, I was just playing off that crazy wick high right there that got everybody out. So 28.50, that high right there is 28.40. So I just wanted to see what was good with that. So that's 28.40 right there. Wanted to see if we come up to test. It looks like we're going to. I do have another offer here to get shorter at 39. So that should fill me up. There it is, very soon. So there we go. We just got it with the out there at 50. So good trade on the long. We're short right now at 34. Again, it's just against that top. Was not impressed, obviously, with the quarter. But, don't be afraid to go long here because there is that big short. Not big short, it's 10%.
It's decent.
It's just, I think that's probably what's causing this. And then any kind of a move back up, I mean, there goes Unity again. We traded Palantir today. That was really the only other kind of Kathy Wood-like name that I looked at today. But it looks like we probably will get stopped out here on Unity. As we try one more time, look, I was stopped out early on this name, going short in front of 28. It worked well. We didn't make back everything, but we made back a lot on the first short 28 and then getting out. That was a dollar club right there. So we'll take about 10 cents or 15 cents worth of a hit if it continues to go upside. But right now, yeah, Unity looking like it wants to go the other way.
Yeah, I just took some out in front of said 28.50 level. Now, anybody watching, you remember on Friday, if that same, that early 25 level, that's where I was shorting, missed this trade, and then once I missed the one pullback at 25 even, I traded 4 times at that price level. It's chop, 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 and eventually just broke out off 25. So took 3 swings at it. None of them were the first good short, which, it happens here. The first time it bounced off a level when it's as strong is when you got to have it. But this is, to me, it's squeezing upside. It wasn't like it was a good quarter or anything, but this is a hammer bottom that this put in. It just hammered the bottom, immediate rejection. If this gets through 29, it's got all kinds of squeeze potential. Does it happen today? I don't know. But I saw a quadruple top, so it got the long. On the way back in, unfortunately, I missed Like I didn't have I thought I had a stop order, didn't, so got in and just rejected back in. If it holds on to the previous breakout price, great. I'd look for strength to try to add to it.
Oh shit, Unity's
But it has been an absolute, the volatility on this has been insane. I don't know if you see the kind of volatility it had the last 2 days in the close. It just doesn't seem very likely because if this is a $2 mover on the day and it did the same thing on Friday, if not more, I don't think you see that kind of a move in the afternoon. I think you scalp it just like everything else, more or less. So back on over to Amazon. Hopefully this chart's better.
Again, oh
Please be working. All right, it's not that much better. Get an idea of the Amazon, you can see me short here. This chart kind of sucks. And then getting some out in front of 143. So playing that same range. I did miss a chance to reload. It didn't quite get up to the same high that it was at before. Intel, very similar story. Just looking to get the bid here. I'm underneath VWAP, so I want to make sure we're getting a little bit underneath that. There we go. Thank you very much for the super chat. And they're Forex and gold trade ideas, too. It's your boy, Lilia Nene. Missed y'all.
Did you get banned or something? Why?
You changed the name. Okay. Apparently you got some Forex ideas out there. You can always share if you feel like it in the chat. That's what's up. But I appreciate super chat. You know what? We don't necessarily ask you for anything except to do this up in here.
Like, subscribe, and share it.
He's not even here.
No, he ain't here.
That's the worst part.
Weak sauce.
I know.
Weak sauce.
And then the thing is, Sharif's not even here. And you know how good of a mood? Could you just see all day long how happy and satisfied Sharif was?
He loves when we play that thing.
No, just read it in his face. The Cowboys with that win, it was insane. He comes in there all beaming.
Loving life.
Okay, we'll see what's up when the Bills win by, I don't know.
They won't win by more than what Dallas won by, though.
Hell no.
I mean, didn't Dallas?
Oh, no. No, it was.
I got the play of the day for you guys coming up here.
By 12.
All right, there it is right now. Let's go. Chris RML, not throwing shade at you, but that's why we hold on to Meta right there, because we just got out at 331 off of that play. So that's another dollar right there. We put that. Now we're out of Meta. I was just, honestly, I'm just playing around with you. You got to get lucky. That bounced off that. We now cancel our script, and that's that. So, we came close to getting out. So you were right. It did make the move back down in, and then that was that. But again, barring crystal ball, barring all these other things, it's very hard to predict where these markets are going to go. AMD, there it is, man. We put that bid out, we got out, so that's going to be a good cover. We're at the highest spot we've been at all day. We were just talking about Unity. Look what happened. It just fell back. I mean, it was, wow, Neil was talking about it. I sort of started looking for some other ideas. Then all of a sudden, this fell right back in and filled me at 31. So we did get a little bit of an out there on Unity back at 31. So that's going to be so far so good on that out right now for Unity as we go. And I know Neil said it too much, but I didn't. So there we go on that one. We're going to have to wait for it, though. Microsoft crossing view up again, back down to the downside. We just took another fill there at 40. Why not? That's a 93 to a 40, another 50-cent winner there for this name. So we'll just keep on sort of trucking along with that idea, I feel like. I like it here for Softy. So let's just keep on watching that name go up to the upside, and then Apple, maybe a fade spot. So is there any names that maybe you guys want us to get to? That we haven't today. I could talk about, I did have a Palantir trade. We did pretty good until eventually it dropped out there. So, we bought 65s there early. I think we all sort of talked about that when we had it on the first time. That worked out really nice. And then after that, we bought again 50s, ripped up to 67, then dropped through 50, and that's when we got out. But look where Palantir stopped. The low of the damn day again. So I kind of feel like, although I like these trades, you still got to be patient, man. And if you just waited for a little bit more there, then you wouldn't have got stopped out there. I'm fine getting stopped out because I don't want to hold this 30 cents or 20 cents against me, but should have put some more bids down there because, just recently, the sky isn't falling, man, especially on the longs. I feel like the risk is really just the shorts.
The sky is falling.
Yeah, it's like no matter how many dip buys there are, there's always someone buying something. Like the NASDAQ, you know, huge move down, there's the move up. Bring it back down, try to break, no, upside again. Now you're going to take out the highs again right now. So yeah, I do feel a little silly sometimes getting out of a stock like Meta while it's only right here, so that's still a good one. But you got to try to hold on to some of these plays. And honestly, with Tesla finally going today, up 5%, maybe this market is exactly what we thought it was, new highs. And 56, yeah, very, very bullish. We've been, I mean, like I said, man, we sort of been buying. I've been buying for a little bit now. We bought some Amazon. We bought Tesla down there at 205. We did sell some NVIDIA last week, and that's going to be a mistake. And I think it was 64-ish, something like that. So now, or maybe 60, I don't know where it was, in the 60s. Now you're at 490. So, yeah, I'm just waiting for that report to come out, man. This name is definitely exactly that. Big time rocket ship to the upside here for NVIDIA.
Expectations a little high on that one. Shout out to, I don't even have to do it because you guys show it that way. Thank you very much. I love it when you guys do it. Thank you, Ian, for the super chat. What do you think of BABA into earnings? They report Thursday morning, so we got a couple of days to wait. So first things first, this actually could flat bottom break in here at 82.5. That's one, but again, that's not really what you're asking for. The problem with BABA is that it hasn't really traded off of the numbers in a hot minute. And by a hot minute, I want to say a hot year or two. So I'm really hesitant to care too much about what the report is in this particular case. However, all of that said, it is trading with lower highs on the daily into pretty much the most obvious $80 support level ever. So you're trending wedged down into this 80 level. It can go both ways here. But I've owned BABA a couple times to the long side, and each time it doesn't matter if you think the quarter's good or what the numbers and sales, what they might be. It's every time I look at it, it's like, why wouldn't you just be in Pinduoduo? Because that's the chart that looks better. And as a trader, it's like, why the hell would you ever try to be long when one chart is like 1,000,000 times better than the other one? And on days where everyone gaps up, they both gap up, and one just tends to continue and the other one doesn't. So I'm putting for myself, this thing is in the penalty box until it is clearing out the 200-period moving average or giving some kind of obvious bottom. Show me something that's breaking the trend. I've seen absolutely nothing to suggest it wants to trade on fundamentals or break the trend, unfortunately for Alibaba. Again, that's Alibaba. This is PDD. I look at every single time I thought that Alibaba was fundamentally a good buy, and if you bought PDD, you've just been winning. I'm not saying go long in Pinduoduo, but one of these things is not like the other.
185, yeah, no. I'm the same way. I've never even thought about buying anything other than Alibaba, and it appears that PDD is the truth.
The one.
Right there. Okay, so just real quickly, we're going to go short again. I'm just trying to find out where my Apple stop is exactly. 185.10, so the high of the day. I'm not trying to be too cute with that. That high of the day is up there. Well, let's go short against that. Sorry, it's not 10, it's 15. So and I don't even know if it's the high of the day. Don't even want to scroll back that much. I know where I want to be here, and if we break that, then we're gone. We'll average into it because we've been back here before, and we missed it the last time. So we'll take it a little bit early. It's Alibaba. Sorry, it's Apple. I was looking over here at Meta chart as well as that's going. We still do have Microsoft as well, 40 cents in the money and trying to go the other way, and then Unity. So I'm just going to short this against this top, thinking that we could fall back at the 85. Now that's only 10 cents. Sharif did a little thing today talking about risk to reward and when you're supposed to look at it and when you're not. Like I don't really like to look at it that much. I just like to know that 15 cents away is my target. So the fact that I'm short at O's and then I just use it for a share size thing. So again, like I kind of look how much money, and honestly, I do this. I mean, some people say hide your P&L, up to you, but I kind of look and say, okay, like what have I been doing on Apple? What's sort of my risk been so far? How many pennies can I take here? And then is it worth the risk to get all the way back up there and possibly get stopped out? So I'm gonna use a decent amount. I feel like we're 15 cents worth of risk is worth it now. The NASDAQ's bumping up to 15.6. That's going to be a big level, so maybe we do get a little bit of a pullback. So here we go. We just shorted 98s there on Apple. You can see the price that we have. So let's see if it does pull back in right now. I like this trade. It's a short on Apple. We'll give it 15 cents, breaking that high. And then after that, we'll see where it goes. Unity still in trouble, man. It looks like it is. I don't know if it's in trouble, but it's the market just pulled back right there. So when you see red candles like that, generally speaking for me, that should have meant that whatever stock I'm looking at should be pulling back.
It is.
No, I'm just watching Unity.
Unity just double top 28.50. It's back to break even for me. So that's a double top at that high with a couple of wicks. I'm going to get out at break even. It was a good long on the break, but if it cannot hold, I'm not going to fight this one. Like, I don't want to average into it or anything like that. I'm just going to take the win and run because this has gone from what looked like one of the strongest names out there to running into resistance both on the daily. I can't show you on the 15. I guess that's not going to load back further, but there you go. It's got some resistance up here around that 28 level. So I'm just going to get out. I hate turning winning trades into losing trades or sort of averaging them. That's a hammer candle off of a double top. It was a good breakout trade, but we'll take the money and run. I'd rather make 20 and risk 5 than try to fight it. I also took some out while all that was going on. Micron got back to 75. Now it's cresting a little bit and rolling back in, so we took profit on the way back up. And I'm going to stop out underneath that 28.75 that we were talking about before. Oh, I knew there was something I forgot. When you were saying, are there any stocks anyone's looking at?
Yeah.
SoFi came up.
Yeah, someone said $7. Is that what it was?
SoFi at $7. I am in that Amazon off the top. I have another bid to try to get some more profit. But SoFi, I'm on the bid. I've been on the bid at $7 for a while. I don't think I'm going to get filled because it's not really moving that much. But SoFi, good bounce off the bottom of the channel. If you've been watching the show for a while, you kind of know what I have to think about SoFi and this downward channel that has to break for me to like it. But it bounced off the bottom. Higher low, support, breakout, $7 support. The only problem with the afternoon of getting this stair step up is it wants no part of coming back in to actually fill you on any kind of a dip. So I've basically been sitting here. Now I don't know if I want it. It's not really moving enough. It might just be more of a breakdown into bounce off VWAP style of trade here for SoFi. But I do like what's happening on the daily in terms of a potential break. Continuation for SoFi. I'm not saying it goes all the way to the top of this range. I'm just saying it has every single time it's bounced before. So it's just an observation. Every single time it's bounced off the bottom of this channel, which is more times than it's gotten to the top. There's one, actually this time it didn't, but it retested and then got to the high. So even when it hasn't, it's gone at least halfway. So I do like this for the long, at least for the next couple of days in here. Yeah, Micron just came out. As I said, we took some profit on the way to the upside several times long, but I'm not going to hold on to that stop. That is a failed breakout at 75 even, so I'm getting the you-know-what out of Dodge. Amazon just broke 143. My Amazon chart's probably still jacked up, but I'll go to it anyways. AMZN. Yeah, it's still
close.
You know what? Actually, you know what I'll do? I know what fixes it. So I'm on the bid there, but if I literally close it and open it back up, it'll probably fill back in. But I'm on the bid underneath this 143 on Amazon.
All right. So just real quick, man, Apple's a dime. We're going to take some 89s if we can get them right now. So come on. It went down to 86, and honestly, I was bidding 85. And then I was like, forget it. I got to bid 89s now. So we'll do that and see if we can get some love here for Apple down to the downside.
It did work.
Right now. And then, by the way, look exactly what happened on Unity. Awesome. So Neil gets out. I'm still in, obviously, as this starts to fade out again. So that's just a tale of, again, being able to win on one strategy and then getting lucky on the other one again. Like, it almost broke 50. But we just started to play that short, and there's Unity back in. We just got out, guys. Like, we got out at 13s, some down there. It actually printed all the way down to 10s. So hopefully that could come in. It was at one point, I saw 38 cents or something in the money there. So that was a good trade for us on Unity, as we look to continue some strength and movement downside on that name. And then Microsoft continues to make moves higher as well. So yeah, man, so far so good here. I hope you guys are enjoying the show. Make sure that you do hit this at least.
Hola.
Oh, there was another.
Like and subscribe today.
Yes, sir. So keep that momentum going on the like and subscribe. And then after that, man, not a whole heck of a lot that I'm looking at right now. So
here we go. There's another super chat, but I wanted to answer a question. Daniel asked, am I taking profits on Nikola at VWAP and lower? So I have, if you come to my chart for a second, at VWAP and lower on Nikola. So I've been in at that $1 break. There was this breakdown, and I got back. When it snapped back, I took some out. I'm like, oh, it looked like it was breaking down, but I'm like, why am I adding to the position when last time it did this, it didn't go that far? So I added here, thought that was kind of silly, and then got out what I got in flat. So I'm basically shorting pretty much at the $1 level. But there was another question, and we just got that super chat from Plotting Profits. Thank you very much. Do you guys find that it's easier to trade with levels during the power hour after daily levels have been established? Different is, you know what? It's different. For some strategies, it's easier. So for the if you're looking at like double and triple tops and you like shorting or longing on those kind of defined levels, that's easier for obvious reasons because you've established, hey, where is the buying stopping and where is the selling stopping? However, the other side of it though is when you're looking for those bigger like home run trades, it's much harder because sometimes they're there, but it's very, very tricky. I'll give you the example. Like if Micron will load here, a lot of times this looks like it's going to turn into the home run where you got the long, you add to the long, and it's going to break another dollar higher. Right? Like that's the trickier trade in the afternoon. Whereas in the morning, like this same setup, I would be much more confident and liking the dip buy in here because it's just got more room to go. I think if you grab the trend early, you can give it a little more space because it has more room to run. Whereas I'm needing this to take out a fresh high with an hour left to be able to get that extra dollar. So some things are easier, some things are harder. It really just depends on what you're trying to do. Obviously, little things like what I'm doing in Nikola or what's happening in Amazon, the scalp trade, like the Intel, that type of scalping at 9:30 is not necessarily an easy thing to do because you're just going to get chopped up usually at 9:30. Like Amazon's a good example of it. Tesla, like if you were trying to scalp Tesla in the morning, we'll load up here. If you're trying to scalp trade Tesla off levels in the morning, good luck with that.
Yeah.
In the first 30 minutes, it's probably, I'm not saying it can't work. I mean, some days it might, but it's probably not going to work. But if you were scalping it off a 225 high, this is something that can work for you. So it depends on your strategy. It's never one size fits all. There's traders I know that I've seen on the floor. It's like they do better after the opening rush. And there's one guy in particular, it was like clockwork, man. Like whenever it wasn't necessarily 10 o'clock, but it was when that opening range volume started to slow down. Sometimes 9:55, sometimes 10:10, wherever it happened to be. That was his moment, and everything for the next half an hour was lost from top. And it was like clockwork because he was just good at that open rush type of trading, and then once things slowed down, it just wasn't his cup of tea. But then you could be on the other side of the spectrum. So do you find what works for you? I see Darwin's talking about Pfizer at the 2020 level. Hasn't it been there? Hasn't it been there for a while? I
2020. Oh, the 2020 bottoms. Yeah.
No, but it's been
$28.
Yeah, it's been down here for a minute. But when we say a minute, you know what I mean by that. For a hot minute, like a while, like too long.
Like 2 to 3 minutes, generally.
A year? No, just kidding. No, it did actually break the bottom today. It looks like just now. Oh, yuck.
There was news today about more drugs coming through, right? Weight loss drugs with Eli Lilly and Pfizer. So Pfizer aims to enter weight loss drug market, sees opportunity right now. So I don't know.
I like 26. I think.
Yeah, their pill's called danuglipron.
Oh, I can't.
What's up?
At least you try. I don't even bother trying to pronounce those.
I don't
waste
I don't
my
know
time.
where they come up with these names. That'd be actually an interesting study. Like, where do they come up with some of these names?
I think the point is
combination of, you know.
I'm sure there's a methodology, because the only explanation is that there is a methodology. You guys will know this. Chris.
$29.
Okay, Chris, saying Roaring Kitty is pumping, Blink might turn into GameStop 2.0. What do you think? I think I want no part of things that are being pumped by.
Is it the real? Because the Roaring Kitty is gone.
Okay, so look, I don't know whether this is somebody. I have no clue.
That guy comes back.
I'm not checking this on Reddit. Obviously, anybody that doesn't know who Roaring Kitty is, that's one of the early GameStop people. If you really look early on in some of those posts, hey, the thesis was good. They absolutely nailed it in terms of the squeeze. A lot of people had an opportunity to make money off of it, and some of the funds that were leaning on it short actually did lose some real money. The whole continuation, I'm not leaving stuff, obviously was a bit of a mess, and I think most reasonable people thought that. So I don't know whether this is actually being pumped by somebody or another, but that's not a good reason to get into a stock. You should have your own reason for getting in. If the fundamental case being made makes sense, great. If the technical case fits your strategy or whatever it might be, great. Does it look like it's breaking out on a daily chart right now? Sure, I think we observed that this morning. it just broke the 50 period. It's above the $3 level. You got a bit of a triple top forming here at about 350. Like there's some things to like about it. That being said, the fact that it's being pumped does not make me like it more. Got to be a little bit wary. If it's just if the craze is people buying on social media, then I want a little bit more than that. The short float. Let me just double check because I don't remember what the short float is.
I didn't even look at that actually.
Let me just double check. Blink charging. 28%. That's what I see at Trade Ideas. Yeah. So maybe it's higher, maybe it's a little bit lower. Either way, it's pretty reasonable. You are looking at, in terms of volume, a day 2 event here. It did volume on Friday, and it's continuing that volume again today. If it was doing volume right now, 350 would set up for a good break. Unfortunately, you are into this high, and look at the volume difference. So into that 335, lower, 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 catches a bid off 330. You never want to be that exit liquidity for others. I'd be very wary of that. So I don't know who or who is not pumping the stock. That's not what we do. We just kind of look at the technicals, show you what we're trading, and leave it at that. Because I think that's what anybody should do. So anyways, I don't know. It looks pretty good technically, but if it's just people pumping it, I don't like those trades as day trades at all. Because how often have we seen a situation where suddenly it's being talked about really heavily? Oh, it's being pumped on social media. It gets to a big high or a big double top, and then we start looking at it. That's the exact moment it looks to turn around because people are looking for that exit liquidity. It breaks a high, people are looking to get out and take those profits on the people coming in late, and that's a pretty sick way to make money, in my opinion. People do it.
Yeah.
There's been people trading penny stocks and doing that game for a long,
as long as
long
you know
time.
the game, right? That's the whole thing. And that's what we're trying to do is just, educate everybody and tell you that those things do exist and to basically do your own research as you can see. So, okay, so right now I'm going to take a bid. Okay, that's fine. Thank you very much for that, my friend. Nice little move again. Let's hit the sirens up down to 85 now for Apple. And so, honestly, I just posted this not too long ago, right? So if you go over here go follow me at Trader TV Sean, by the way, I'll give you the ideas that I've been doing every single day. This was Apple, this was an hour ago, and we just posted what we were doing. And it's the same exact thing all over again. So here it is right here. We were shorting. This post was at 1:30, so an hour and a half ago. Shorting into VWAP, into everything. So there it is again. So just for an idea, that's exactly what we did again right now. And then there it is, Apple back down in. So again, it's only 15 cents, but we are well aware of the risk that we're taking and what to look out for here. So Apple right now making that move, and we're starting to capture some of it by bidding exactly that. We are right now bidding 81s. Oh, no, we didn't. Did my 81s get canceled? Yes, they did. Okay, so I'm going to put back an 81 there. Bid that, then we have 72s, and then we'll see about lower. So 81s, that's a 200 period. Then if we Then if we can break down, then that would be all good on that front as well. So far, so good here as we just continue to watch some of these trades and hopefully be able to pay out a little bit on them. So that's good right there. Unity, nice move down. Let's freaking go on that one.
Oh, my God.
That's 34 cents now in the money as we just got our 06. No, we're at 06. What am I talking about? No, we did not. Okay, the 06 got canceled. I was at 06 and I went to 10s because last time that was the lowest we got. But now we are starting to break below here on Unity. So it just comes right back in. We're now short. This is another trade, man. 40 cents now in the money on Unity. And down goes Apple. That's another one, man. We gave the Microsoft longs. We gave the Meta longs. We gave the Apple shorts. All starting to pay off just a little bit here as we continue to make new moves here on this market. So it's a nice take. We're bidding 72s. You know where it stopped? 72. So let's put a bid at 75 and see if we can get that out right now. It was a good move back in there for Apple. We were waiting for some more shares up top. We did talk about the risk to reward there, and so far paying off. Unity, I feel like a little silly if we don't put this down. We haven't been trading Unity that well, although we do have a good one on right now. So let's put one at 28.03. We are short symbol U at 28.40 right now. So yeah, man, so far so good. we're excited. It's been another kind of slow day in the market, but if you're watching the right names, then you can turn out to be all good.
You just got to make sure that you're, trade within the range that's being presented to you. That's like the theme of today. That's been the theme of the last few weeks here. Just gonna, there we go. I had to close and open this Amazon again.
That's gonna be a problem.
Yeah, it's been whatever. It's fine now, this stock, but just roll back into the downside. I don't know if it gets all the way into VWAP, but I'm looking here 142.60. If it bounces off of that, which was our 12 to 1 o'clock support level, I'll just get out, take the money and run. Was asked where the profit taking was on Nikolai. I said once it gets to VWAP, we start and then go from there. I did get the VWAP fill down here. I got some bids, 98, 97. We'll continue with those. And then Intel, similar story. There we go. Rolled through VWAP, was able to get some 30s out. You got a top here essentially at 45. So if it gets down to the bottom, that would be 38.16. This could go all the way down into the low. Now, if the NASDAQ can actually, you know what, I can't even, the 60-minute chart, I always have 60 minutes up here because that's been useful, but then every single time I'm doing the afternoon show, we got to look at the 15, which I also have a 15-minute chart on the futures. I use a 15 and a 60 for the futures when I'm tracking the markets. If we cannot break out of this range, just respect, if the NASDAQ gets another 20 points and bounces, I'm going to be looking for longs when we get down here. Like if I see anything that sets up as a strong name that gives you a long, when we get to the bottom of this range and we get out of shorts and into longs, no questions asked, because that's what the market has been telling you. NVIDIA, if you're trading this name, again, like I said, I've already taken profits on the shorts on the way down here. If you're trading this one, hey, look at that. Triple top, bouncing off VWAP, trade it anywhere else, and you're essentially wasting your time. But this is one of the stronger names out there in the market, up that 1%. Could it bounce off 487? Maybe it gets another dollar down. I just know that you don't want to go long until it gets there. This has been a hammer to the upside, but this afternoon, it's just like everything else. There's nothing different about this up at this high on NVIDIA. Generally speaking, I like the long on the stock, but I don't know. I don't know if I want anything unless I see the futures bounce. One short that I'm not in that I do like, okay, here we go. That 91 level, this is the area that I liked on Coin this morning. It failed 91. I shorted underneath 90 into 89. I then tried it on the way back at 91. That didn't work. 91, triple support. If this breaks down through VWAP, I like the short right back into that 89 level on Coinbase. Finally, something that's breaking into a new range. That's what I like seeing. Like, what's this like in this entire time? Like, Unity tried to take out a high, was quickly in and out of that one for a quick win, but then it came right back in. I want something trading in a new range from the afternoon, and suddenly Coinbase underneath VWAP is presenting that opportunity.
Ah, man. There's so much good talk and so much, hopefully so much knowledge there from you guys in the chat from Neil there, because the thing is like, we're just traders here trying to hit the same keys you guys are, and just trying to play off some levels, get some good ideas, and talk up hopefully a good game. And so thanks for hitting the like, the subscribe, and all of that. Join me in just 40 minutes, 50 minutes now to the after show. We'll have some nice recaps. We'll talk about some nice sectors, what they've been doing today, including watching out for oil and whatnot. And uranium was a nice move today.
Boom. Oh, I got the small one.
As well.
Oh, that's
you
only...
won. I just lost 500 points on Streamlabs.
But that's the small one. Let me just take my winnings, and because what you should do when you win in the Streamlabs thing
really
is just go again. Oh no, I can't go right away again.
You can if you win, I think.
All right, well I just tried again.
Let's try. I think it's banning me because I'm unhinged right now. But as you can see, though,
it'd be jokes if it gave you a warning.
It does sometimes. If you keep on doing it, I feel like it's told me before to get away. Okay, so right now, no, see, it's not letting any of us go. Yeah, so someone else. Okay, anyways, let's just go like this. It doesn't matter. Streamlabs is obviously fake. This right now is Apple, which is a real company and the largest indeed, and we just shorted right there. We actually got that fill, came back in. We told you we put a 75 bid, so we actually take that. Now it's not that impressive. It was much better when it ripped up to 90 there again, but there's the 75 fill. Looking to see if we could do anything with that number now. Hopefully it falls in one more time. I took that Unity fill at 9s because why not? Now everyone's going crazy with the slot, so that is is good. Let's just check out what USO is doing. We did talk a little, oops, USO right there. Did talk a little bit about oil today, just to have a quick little look at it. So USO up 1.5%. That's nice. It has had a little bit of a rough time there from the bottom. So let's have a look to see what some of the biggest names. ExxonMobil, I think this is a good level, man. Isn't it like a 103, 104 area where we like this name? Yeah.
Yes,
so that bottom's 103 right there. Trying to bounce off 100 and doing a decent job. Now 2 days up in a row on ExxonMobil, as well as CVX. Look, I like buying all of these names, especially as, and again, completely up to everybody here, but you know, as rates will start to figure itself out, I feel like, you know, some of the dividend yields and whatnot here coming through with some of these oil plays will start to mean something again. So Chevron, again, nice bottom pick. You could take it at 143 right here, and I feel like you'll be okay. They did close out Hess and then Pioneer with ExxonMobil.
Yes, sir.
I did mean to put in down here UVXY, actually. So I just have to take this off. I did put this is just e-signal charting, but I wanted to watch UVXY as well. So if you're interested in that kind of stuff, I know Neil looks at it as well. I'm going to keep it up here on my screen, just a 1 minute UVXY chart with VWAP, 200 period and 50 period, just to see how we react. Because I'm always trading the major cap names, right? And so I feel like, not I feel like, it's a fact, you do want to watch VIX. So that's what UVXY is. This is just a double on it. We don't have the actual VIX. Like, I have VIX.
I use it on, I have my VIX on the, usually I'll put it up on like on my trading view.
There's UVXY and VIX. Problem with VIX is 50 minutes delayed on our platform, so that's why.
Yeah, it's not, UVXY just gives us more real time, that's all.
Yeah, that's all.
There was, first of all, a couple of things here. What a fantastic, I was asked about plugs, I'm gonna get there next, but I love the community in there, everyone gifting Dan McIsaac points for some reason. I have no idea why, but I decided to as well. So shout out to you, Dan McIsaac. Make sure you have fun with that. But it's all in good fun. Plug Power went from being a great short early, like we're in, we're holding. It's giving you good moves in here. Risk 5, make 10. Risk 5, make 10. Actually was holding for a bigger move down at double bottom. We got out. Here's where the other thing happened. This was pretty much running perfect at that moment for me. And then I reloaded off the top. It stopped out. I reloaded the consolidation. It took a while, but it stopped out. And then I had no reason to be short in here. But plug support now looking at 350. It closed at 353. So you're more or less supporting that bottom. Now, I get it. They said going concern issues, which typically that's not a good thing fundamentally, but it's worth considering. When a stock is this big shorted and you have that kind of a huadunk or a failure, if you make a low, it can get it can get bullish off of a double bottom. Shorts have to cover, and when you see a double bottom like that, after a stock has done this, sometimes you get a relief rally. Like, ask yourself, like, if it breaks out 350 or you're long off $3, you don't need much to make 20 or 30%, and that is nothing in terms of a bounce on plug. So I think at this point, the double bottom, the higher lows, until proven otherwise, this might be a nice little long play off that 320 area, maybe even the 350s. I like the 4 shorts still, but we're not getting anywhere near that 4, and it's putting in higher lows today. If there was more activity, I might play VWAP, but there's just nothing happening on this. It's just, you know, I almost feel as if this is like, it's low-hanging fruit, but I want to see it start to bounce, have a reason to believe that it's worth getting into this long. Because that sets up, and it looks good on the chart, but on a day where we're so choppy, I'm just not feeling it. Everything has to be absolutely perfect, or I'm just not going to touch it. Speaking of which, back above VWAP, I'm getting on the offer back in the 40s on Intel. Rinse and repeat it. Simple as that. Rinse and repeat. If it's going to give you 38.40, I'm just going to sit right back in there and try to take it over and over again. I just saw this. Brennan put this in the chat for us, so I wanted to open this up here for you guys. This was, yeah, this is back a couple of days ago. I know you put this in there with in reference to that whole pump and dump as we were talking about this, so I should have said this at the time, but most of you guys know this if you've been watching around. Like, I think it was at Zach Morris. to be honest, we'd see it all the time. We're doing the show, and someone says, hey, Zach Morris is saying this or that or whatever it might be, but he got charged in a pump and dump for stock manipulation. That's what we're getting at. Now, I don't think necessarily, it doesn't really matter. Like, I'm not sitting here saying Ron Kitty did this or did that. It's just that you've got to be very, very careful following those kinds of trades. It is one thing when someone says, hey, I like the long at 4, the continuation. I'm shorting in front of a support and resistance. This is the trade I'm making, whatever. You see me win, you see me lose on Intel, back and forth. But if someone just says, hey, this stock is going to absolutely moon, no other details, I start with being skeptical. I don't know whether, UI Brothers, I don't know where Zach Morris is or if that's what his actual name is, if he's in jail or what fines he had to pay. They're just passing along that info for you guys. Wanted to go back over to Mr. Tesla. So Tesla, oh, you're not anywhere near that 222. One day pullback, $1 away from the 222 level. That looks like where you want to pick up the long. You want to be short 225. You want to be long 222. Got about 45 minutes to go. So I do want to be in that. Like, it has the biggest range on the afternoon, Micron in this, from a percentage standpoint, but it still doesn't want to give it to you. Amazon might be easy in terms of range, but it does not want to fall away to the bottom. So I'm gonna bid it down here. Have to. If it's not going to break any further down, the next time it gets down here, we're just going to take it. Going to get back on the offer. The overfill is above 143. That's where you want the short on this name. I don't know if I reload Nikola, and I'm about to give up on the notion of, I like this Alibaba. I said it could be a flat bottom breaker. It is on the daily chart if it takes out 80, but the volume here is pretty bad. Not going to do it. I'm not going to short bottoms. Like, it's not moving. Like, sure, it's breaking down, but it's just not going anywhere after it does it. I want some volatility here. Coinbase would be the one thing that has a chance to go. And then it just got back above VWAP. It still might be the short I'm looking for. This is not the short you're looking for. But it's got to hold underneath VWAP and consolidate under there. That wasn't that funny, Fabian. I appreciate you laughing at it, but
these guys are cracking.
I was being corny on purpose. That's how I roll.
All right. Yeah, no, I was going to say basically the same thing here is that there's really not that much happening in pretty much this market in general right now. You know, Meta bouncing around here, not doing too much. You can see the UVXY, the VIX is trying to make a move, but again, not really near the day's low. You know what, I'm going to actually make this smaller so I can actually see some of these levels as we get going here. Yeah, so we are making the move down, so it's no surprise here if Apple does retrace back. And look, in spirit of scalping, you know, I'm going to put another bid right there at 80 again, just to get some more. I mean, we could short 185 if it does come back upside there, but we don't need to do that. Quickly checking out on Starbucks. Starbucks making the move down in as well, back into VWAP. All right, so SBUX. Could be a decent long right now. Let's take this opportunity right now to do something that I obviously love to do, and that's this. So I want to just say thank you to everybody for watching here, and let's go roll call. So I'm going to shout out whoever's here, man. Put a wave out here. I'll put a wave to everybody here. Hey, guys, what's going on? Make sure you join me tonight as we have tons of fun doing this all day, man. All night, all day. We're here to do not only just to educate you guys, but to say what's up and join the community right now. So hey, Alex Davis, he's here. Tim is in the building as well. Alex is here. Seven Umi is here. Wow, we're going quickly, man. Robert Liu, Britt Brendan is here. Eagle Guy, yo, what's up? He says, hey, Sean, what's up? There they are. There's the hands coming through. What's up, Jazz Pre? What's up, Sailor Moon? Oh my God, I can't keep up. What's up, Monty G, Sweet Bean? Jazz Pre again, saw you there. Bull Shark, what's up? What's up, Hugo B. Balboa? You know, Balboa, the guy's knocking these trades out. What's up to Daryl? What's good? What's good? He says. Yeah, I know what's good. I hope you guys know what's good today as we're going nuts right here today. Look at all the love in the chat. Geez, guys, thank you so much. Hub C, we'll talk about that for sure. What's up to Q Daddy? He's there. I just saw him fly through. What's up to DVBZ there? 4L Taz. Man, why did I do this? What's up to everybody else plotting profits? Hey, yo, that's it. We're done. Thank you so much for the roll call there as we went absolutely ham bone right there on that. So thank you so much to everybody. Make sure you do join me tonight, and we'll have a lot more fun on that one. We have JC Peretz from All-Star Charting coming through on Thursday. That should be really exciting, man. The guy's pretty much a legend as far as technical analysis is concerned. Friends of Brian Shannon. Michael Noss knows him as well. A lot of love there for the CMT community, and we have a lot of love for those guys on the show as well. Tonight, we'll be bringing you earnings reports, right? We have Home Depot tomorrow morning, so we won't be bringing you that, but we will talk about the chart there. We will talk about FSR, which is coming tonight.
Yuck.
It's Fisker. Blech, where's my throw-up emoji?
We don't have them anymore.
We used to, yeah. So that one's gone. Fisker tonight. The other one tonight. Where is Danielle Shea? She gone. No, she had to move. So,
She'll be back in December.
She'll be back. No worries about that one. Brian Shannon does love VWAP. I actually had his book somewhere around here.
It's at the desk.
Mine's at home. There's one up there. Yeah.
Mine is at the desk.
There's at the desk. Mine's at home.
This guy can't stand up. Come on,
Yeah,
Bull. The Bull's getting sleepy,
The Bull's thinking
man.
about it. We hadn't had a second opinion today from Randall the Handle yet, so we'll see.
But Randy's opinion today was that he wants to dip by XOM. That was his comment was that he wants to get into
He just asked what's up with XOM.
But then,
we showed it to
no, it was on Friday. He said
Oh, did he come
on
in and
Friday
say
he
that?
came by and he said he wanted to dip by XOM, but I'm guessing he didn't based on the fact that he gave us no update.
There's
But
one other stock. What's the other one that's reporting? There's Fisker. Hold on a second. I marked it down myself. Oh, you know what's an interesting one that's reporting tonight? It's Rumble. Now, we said, I clearly remember telling everybody, get the hell out of this one before it actually becomes a stock.
Better ticker than stock.
And there it is. Once you become a SPAC, you go below $10 or you de-SPAC. I would say the same thing's going to happen to Digital World, but this could be an interesting name. Again, Rumble at lows. I believe it's probably all-time lows or close enough
here
for Rumble, to be honest with you. I see it at 445, all-time low. So, yep, you're right here, right now. Rumble tonight. Could be, I did hear something in my ear. I don't know if that was a call or not. But again, this should be an interesting name tonight. It's Rumble. Interesting to hear about. Again, I know that it's very political, but that's when you're trading a name like Rumble with the conservative YouTube, basically, I think is what they're trying to do. And it's located right here in Toronto. That's the other thing for Rumble.
And it's definitely
not that that really means anything.
And you definitely don't want to steal Joe Boo's shares of Rumble.
Rum. Yeah, that was a good one. What's up, Brendan?
All right, quickly, guys, on that, there was a note this morning I saw on DWAC as well along those lines, going concerns for DWAC. GDHG here, another one. There was a short report from Hindenburg on this after it already fell apart this morning. So just halted again downside here. Not a lot of volume, but GDHG, Hindenburg doesn't like.
Hold on, the short report came out after it was already doing all of this? Oh, that ain't right.
Well, the market is completely fair, so don't.
No.
Where is my Apple?
I'm needing to believe that that's not true because that would just be kind of messed up if that were true. But it's only done 700,000 shares with only 40 minutes to go. It wouldn't matter with 40 minutes to go, beginning of the day, like that little volume, unless you're trading it here or here. Maybe here, and there's places that you can try to work some kind of in and out, but down around here when it's halting every 2 seconds is probably, and I'm not every 2 seconds, every 5 minutes. That's where it's in trouble. So not looking good. It would, if they came out with that report after it was already halting down and stuff, that would seem nonsensical and not cool at all. But the market's coming right back up to those tops. So you have an idea what comes next, which is if you like something to the south side, you try to get back into that high, so that would be Intel. I will not reload Nikola, not really moving enough. Again, Amazon not really even getting back above the 143 to get some of that top. You want to be patient because if you don't get the actual high, then none of the trade makes sense when you have this tight of a range. That's the frustrating thing when you have a sideways market. But if you succumb to the frustration, then you end up over trading.
Yes.
And so I know, I can tell you time and time again, it can definitely be a little bit of trouble for you. Plotting profits. Are you saying JC can't hit a curveball? Hey, man. Serrano said it best. I mean, I'm not here to tell you what's up, but you saw the power of Joe Boo when Harris had that run, right? Things didn't work out so well for him. I'm just throwing it out there. And if you've never seen Major League, top 5 funniest. Oh my goodness, I didn't do my stupid list.
It's definitely a sports movie.
It's
not like a classic comedy.
I owe you guys like a pineapple pizza eating or something.
Eating.
I said I was gonna do my top 10 comedy list. Sports comedies for sure. No question about it. Like Major League's up there.
Yeah.
I don't know if it would make my top 10 in terms of just pure comedy movies.
Well,
I've already told you one that's on that list.
You got to be a fan for what? What's on it? I actually like, for me, so one of my favorites, I'll give you one and then Neil give you one maybe, or you tell me what you already said already. I still really like Step Brothers. It's going to be one of mine, honestly, one of my all-time favorite comedies because I rewatched it and it's pretty freaking hilarious. And then I've watched this about 1 million times, Tommy Boy, which I know now that I rewatch that over and over again, like it is pretty stupid. But for me,
in a good way.
I like
though.
Tommy Boy.
In a good way, it's
you know, shout out to Chris Farley. I think he was one of the better. Sorry, I like.
It was on Friday.
At that age, okay.
Adair's right away. I keep looking back and I don't even realize. No, there was a pun off on Friday.
Yeah.
Like Obi and Adara were trading puns at who was better. No, it wasn't fair. You would have won, except the poll happened while Obi was here in the afternoon show. So he was still dropping puns while the poll was up. Who has better puns?
Oh.
And Adara couldn't really compete back because she didn't have any kind of a mouthpiece. So I made a thing saying, because I voted for Adara. They said, Obi, my compliment to you, because I just voted against you, was that the way you deliver is just like Leslie Nielsen. He's very deadpan when he gives it, which is perfect.
So that was one of yours then, Airplane?
And so I said Airplane was one of my favorite movies. It's one of the funniest movies ever made. Leslie Nielsen was a comedic genius. Anybody that can, it's the delivery sometimes. Like if anybody knows Mitch Hedberg, it's the delivery. Like that, he might be one of the most brilliant comedians ever who was afraid to be on stage. And his jokes, if people say that Seinfeld makes simple observation jokes, Mitch Hedberg is basically like Seinfeld times 1,000 when it comes to all of his jokes. There's nothing complex about them. But if I try to tell them, none of them would be funny. And it just goes.
It is all about the delivery.
It's all about his delivery. I think he's a genius. Mitch was the man. May he rest in peace. Talladega Nights. I'm not going to spoil it. I'm actually going to do it because we're going to the game.
Yeah.
So after 4 o'clock. We're waiting for you to go. We're waiting for you to go to the bar, so
Yeah, exactly. We'll be on the midday. We'll be on the after show.
We got some time.
Yeah. So what was give us one? So I did Airplane. What about one from you?
I like.
Adara, I'm asking.
Jonah Hill, 2011.
Okay.
I also like The Other Guys, which I know Neil and I.
The Other Guys. Yeah. Okay. The Other Guys.
There goes my hero. It's
Matt Damon.
No, no, you're thinking Mark Wahlberg.
Mark Wahlberg is
Mark Wahlberg.
That is, I'm thinking the same movie. That is who it is.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, good.
Mark Wahlberg.
I like all of that.
Desk Pop.
People are excited. Office Space, I think is another.
Okay. Like,
classic
come on, man.
as well. And then another classic
that's
comedy
on my
that I
list.
really like, Scarface as well. So there you go. Okay, so.
No, Scarface. We had this conversation this morning. Scarface has the #1, in my opinion, when they do those like what is it? What do they call the montage?
Yes, we talked.
Like Rocky's training montage is probably #2. The Scarface, he gets filthy rich in like in 20 minutes and 5 minutes in the movie. That money montage where they're just taking money into the bank.
It's so stupid.
I love that ish.
It is so stupid.
It is so good.
And in my, this is how you know it's my kid. So for Halloween, they had a supply teacher that day. Like my kid's never even seen horror movies. The most scariest movie he ever saw was Five Nights at Freddy's, and we just went to see it. And it's not even that scary. And it's 14A, so he's 11.
He's young.
Yeah. Anyways, that's not scary at all. But so there was a substitute teacher in that day, and he's in. I don't even know his grade, 5 or 6, something like that. And I should know that. And the thing is that the teacher was like, okay, hey, let's watch a movie. So they have now, it's all streamed, so they can go in. And I don't know how this happened exactly.
It seems like a bad.
But my son goes, we should watch Halloween. And the teacher didn't know anything about Halloween. Didn't know Michael Myers or nothing, just knew that it was Halloween.
What's up with this
and then
teacher?
so they're just like, oh, okay, yeah, it's a good idea. Let's watch Halloween because it's Halloween. Anyways, needless to say, another teacher came in and was wondering what exactly.
You think?
Yeah, exactly. And long story short, he had to go to the office and explain it. And then he just claimed they never saw it before, but he was being mischievous. Long story short, nothing wound up happening to the guy. But he tried. He had to tell me that he pranked.
That's a win for Barron.
He called basically it pranking the supply teacher.
He owns it.
Which is what it is.
That's what you're supposed to do. Okay, no, you're not supposed to do that.
I thought it was pretty good. No, I was like, that's pretty good.
I know. My father-in-law was a teacher, so
I think it got like 5 minutes in.
Supposed to do that.
And the thing is like if like imagine
Everybody
the
does
teacher actually. Like, if one of those scenes would have happened, it might have been disturbing for the first little while, but I'm sure they would have pushed stop eventually. Now, the more that I think about it, yeah, he should have
10
done
years
that.
old.
I'm going to have to speak to him about that one.
Yeah, but
Okay.
he probably had no expectation that the teacher would actually
I
do
know,
it.
that is the
That's
other
not
thing.
his fault.
Right, he wasn't sure.
I'm on your side, Baron. I'm always on his. I'm
I
always
was
on
on
Baron's
his
side.
side, but
'Cause,
now that I think about it, like, what about...
yo, Baron acted a fool at our wedding. It was so much fun. Were we
But
supposed
it's
to
because
go
he
to the...
danced. He wasn't acting a fool, I don't think.
He was the first person on the dance floor.
Yeah.
Now, it may or may not have been time to be on the dance floor, but nobody gave a damn.
It not
It
have
was-
been 3.
It's fine.
How long have you been married?
I should know that not. It's my.
Over
Why
to
would
you,
you do?
Brendan.
Why would you do that
Over
on
to
camera?
you, Brendan.
It's my 9th anniversary in like a couple of weeks.
You don't know how
It's
many
9 years.
All right, what was that, Brendan?
Not to interrupt, but there's a couple things of note. AUVI, 52% here. They came out with preliminary earnings a little bit early, I guess. 50% here to the upside for Applied UV. There's also some comments from, yeah, that's Amazon. Has nothing to do with that. There's also some comments from Fed's Bar just coming across right now, guys. So just watch the market.
My wife's not watching, and none of you guys can tell her.
My wife
So as long
probably
as
is, so.
as long as people around here aren't snitches, then I'm good to go. So
My
I'm
wife
just throwing it
messaged
out
me,
there.
love you.
If I
Love
get in
you also.
trouble, then I know who snitched. Okay? I know exactly who snitched if I get in trouble.
You won't get
I'm
in
just throwing it out there.
She knows you don't know your how many years.
It's literally, so the funny thing about it, we got married specifically around like in November so that we could leverage the U.S. Thanksgiving holiday and not miss as much time trading. So that was actually, so that's a team player right there. So thank you to my lovely wife, and it's our 9th year anniversary, and 9 is pottery. So yeah, I'm one of those idiots that fell into that trap of getting the gift of whatever the traditional year is, because now that I've done it, now I have to continue doing it every single year. Like pottery? I have a good one this year. I can't say that because then I've just really screwed things up if I tell you what I got her this year. So I'll keep my mouth shut.
Yeah, don't do that. That would be a mistake.
That would be stupid. You have to get creative.
I think that is pretty genius to do that move, because then it makes your gift giving just so simple.
You'd
every
think
year.
so, but like
It's
one
like
year's
what-
like paper. It's like try to come up with something creative.
Yeah, but that's what Google's for, bro.
Well, what do you
It'll
think
tell you
I
what
do?
exactly. It'll tell you what to do.
Saying.
We're not trying to mess around up in here. All right. So what we're trying to do also is we're just trying to add some cash to our pocket, and I right now, because Sharif's not here, but remember we told him because of his large winnings in Li Auto and Apple that he can buy the beverages tonight, which I don't think will hold him to that, because I
Nah.
think it's still $13 or something for like a pint or something, which actually
That's it. That's not that bad.
yeah, it's actually really not that bad. I'm going to break it down for everybody.
It's the same
here.
thing as the Jays game. That's not that bad.
Oh, yeah. It'd be the same thing, but we're going to have a little bit of pre-drink action anyways tonight. So anyways, okay, there's Apple. So Apple just fell in. We just took another fill there at 05, or 02, sorry. It's now down into the 80s. Where's my bid? 85 right now. So hopefully that'll come back in, fill us down there at 85. Just, I don't know why we're really at 85. Is that where VWAP is exactly? Yes, it is. So there we go. Hopefully we do have a nice little take here on the upside for VWAP. We just missed it. Did we get it? No, we did not. One more print down, and we will get an 85, giving you again another 17 cents to sort of put in our pocket here one more time. So we got to get filled first, though. A little bit of a move down. This always happens, and there it is, a nice one right there as we go bearish on Apple. We go bearish on Unity as that's coming back in as well. So far, so damn good today, man. Wow, it's been a fantastic day. No matter which way you are, long, short, or not, you just had to play levels. And that's why when we're looking at an Apple, look at this. This is the same trade I just made from 11:30. I just made now at 1 o'clock and then again at 3 o'clock. So it's the same trade all morning, that short, right? We actually just got taken out of Microsoft long. So there it is right there. This was the one thing that I wanted to get to before we moved on, was the same trade on Microsoft until we got weak and broke the bottom. So there we are, out for literally flat, but on the way up, dollar win, 60 cents, and then the fall in. So we should have been a little bit more sort of frugal on that one. Got out once we noticed there was a couple more tops there, but if you keep getting out, then you never stay in. And then the other play was Meta, and again, look at this one. This is this one, proud of, because again, 1 out, 2 outs, 3 outs gone, and look look where we're bouncing again right now for Meta. So for me, because it's 3:30 and we do have those imbalances coming out right now,
I just got out of something.
that's what I was going to say. I am now out. So I'm going to be completely out here as we go. So,
Oh, it was Amazon, yeah.
yeah, I got to get, I mean, I don't have to get prepared right now for the closing show. I'll go over. Hopefully everything's going to be set up over there. Oh no, you weren't using it for lunch money. So I do have to go make sure that we're all logged in, and I'm going to go do that.
Usually it's logged in because I used it at 12.
Okay, good. There goes Apple to the downside. Just only bid left for me now is in the 60s, so down into here. So again, there's another one and another good movie right here as we are reloading.
Oh goodness, my charts crashed again. But in terms of
your charts,
I know the problem is these wicks come back, and then 50-50. If I get rid of the wick live, it's going to crash the chart. So you can, if you're at Day Trade the World, you can right-click any bad dark pool wick, and then you just get rid of it. So every time I do it, it's like, yeah, if I do it in front of you, it doesn't work. And if I do it when you're not there, whatever. But I just got out of Amazon. I did just get rid of it, and it worked. So I'm out of Amazon, top to bottom. Again, it's not that it isn't a strong stock. Obviously, if you look at it since the open, it's been pretty strong. But respect the fact that the trade that afforded to you was off that high, so we make sure we grab that. I don't know if I want to be into anything new. I really thought Coinbase was the one thing, like underneath 91, a chance to break it down and really make a dent in terms of a bigger move. It just doesn't happen. It holds on to that support, and like everything else, if you just go long off the support level or short off the top, it wins. So if you hunt too much for that bigger move, sometimes like the more simplistic thing, which would have been just to go long off VWAP at 91, like that, you miss it because I wanted this move to happen, the bigger move right down at 89, your $1.50, your $2 type move. Instead, what's there for you is the 40 to 50 cent bounce. So we always talk about this, like take what the market gives you, take what the market gives you. And in that note, it's kind of like if you're a football fan, it's the analogy of Josh Allen heaving a pass 50 yards downfield at Stephon Diggs, who's double covered when Gabe Davis is open for a simple crosser that will get you the first down, which is essentially what they need in that moment. It doesn't mean sometimes you got to hit that big move, but it's not always what's going to be out there for you. If the defense gives it to you, you take it. If the market gives it to you, you take it. If it's not there, try not to throw the pick. That's when you'll get yourself into trouble. I'm saying that because I know Josh isn't going to do anything bad tonight. Denver stinks, so we're going to be fine. I'm just telling myself this so that everything will be okay in case they lose. We're going to be at the Raptors game, and my mind is going to be on the Bills 100%. You know how I roll. I want to get to Unity here. We have some time, and it is a decent buy-in balance of $835 million. But Intel's not running stops. Nickel is not really moving. It's still at that dollar level. But I want to set something up for tomorrow. The continuation trade on Unity, for this to potentially break back out again through last week's high, right around 29. It's just 2 days in a row now. Like, look at the setup here. Absolute hammer. Look at the rejection of the breakdown. Then you go next level, you break out the next level, and then if it takes out this high, that would be on the 6th. That's last, when is that? On the 6th, I guess that's like last week, Monday. But that's a big move if this can take it out. Anytime I see this happen on a bottom like that, it can be just a huge squeeze up. The only problem is Unity is not like 40% short. And there was someone in the chat, and I forgot to get to this, saying, would you short, it was like, do you want to short Virgin Galactic at $2? $2 hasn't been that big of a level. This is what happened the last time we were short off this level. You had to let it break to. I was short this day. You had to let it break to and then get the short above $2 into this level here, which is 210. So sometimes that even dollar level can be a little bit of a trap. That's what happened here with Virgin Galactic for me. So the short answer is like yes, but not at $2. You got to let it drift above 2 because your out is above like 213 on Virgin Galactic. So I just took profit on one of the last 3 shorts on that buy and balance, which is still not really even moving the market.
How much was it?
$835 million to buy.
Okay.
Which, considering the lack of
not horrible
movement, that's not bad.
No. Okay. So we'll wait for that. All right. So down right now. We'll give another one.
Another one.
And then we'll just hit fail because that's what the stock's doing right now. There it is. Nice move to the downside. We just get a 75 fill right there on Apple. Now it's, I mean, we just reloaded it. So that was definitely a good one back in as we just continue to do the same thing that we've been doing. And that is playing the range. So unfortunately, not much else happening right there. Tesla, I mean, it's not much happening. We're fine, and things are going really well. But right there, Tesla 225, a possible spot. If this market does rally, what are we bouncing off of right now? We have VWAP there, and the 200 and the 50. I don't even know where VWAP is on this stock. Where is it? Oh, it's all the way down here. Okay, it's not even close. All right, so the 200 period, nice little dip down there into 222. I mean, if you break this 223 area, maybe we do get below this 222.80 right now. Well, what is the market? The market's just hovering and not doing too much. 15,572. Okay, so I would rather the long. I mean, obviously this name is up 4+%. So why don't we try it a little bit? If we can get back into the 200 period and then hold this for a break back down in 60 cents into the close. Do we have enough juice here though? So I always look at the NASDAQ and if we are above or below the 50 period moving average to sort of judge kind of momentum in the market, right? I mean, there goes Apple right now. We've already talked about that move. There goes Unity as well, back down to the downside. Maybe we should just stick with shorting instead of going for longs as the market. I feel like we've already been a lot lower than this today. Maybe we do retrace a little bit. The market's been up, 9 of the last 10 days, virtually almost setting a record there, going back to what was it, 2012, 10 straight market days up. So we'll wait to see. AMD is a good one. Yeah, see, look where AMD is, right at VWAP, right here, right now. I feel like this is going to be a decent name to short. Why don't we do that against 117 right now? If the market flips a little bit downside, we should be able to have a move. So NVIDIA's trying. That's 491. Wow, that's still so big, eh? NVIDIA, wow. 491 for that name. So we'll have a quick,
It's so
strong. We'll have to have a quick look there as well. So, but yeah, so far so good actually with all of these names. I actually like that AMD short.
I just went
We're right at it right now though. Okay.
I didn't take the long in coin off 91, but the short at 92 I'll take. As it's 340, this is probably the last thing I would get into. I mean, who knows? I mean, something could happen quickly in the next couple of minutes, but that close to the imbalances at 350. I just look what is at either the top to be shorted or at the bottom to be long inside of the range, and Coinbase came up. And then the quick answer to you, it was who was it in the chat? Tony Price in the chat. The answer is yes. I'm not going to spoil whether the Big Lebowski makes it on my list or not, but that is a very, very funny movie. No question about that. Big Lebowski is a classic. It's very, very funny. I'll just leave it at that. Anyone that hasn't seen it's going to like it. Omar is saying that AUVI is still going or going to squeeze into the close. When I pulled this up, I thought the volume was coming right out of it a little bit here, and it is to a certain extent. So the volume's still coming out of this one to a certain extent. I'm not sure. When I look at the level 2, there's not a lot of liquidity for a stock done 8 million that's 30 cents. Not a heck of a lot on the bid or the ask. Like no one even wants 10,000 lots in one shot. It spreads a full penny. A full penny spread on a penny stock, a 30-cent stock, is a no-fly zone for me. Like look at the liquidity and spread on this for a penny stock. That's not very good. You're getting a lot of slippage, especially late in the day. Let's go to the desk. We got to take care of some business.
Brought to you by IG.com. Trade Forex pairs like Euro USD with spreads as low as 0.8 pips and zero commissions at IG. Terms and conditions apply.
Yes, they do. Shout out to Frank Caberna.
Yes.
IG, who will be on tomorrow, I believe.
Will he be on tomorrow? Okay.
Well, usually it's Tuesday.
Yep, that's right.
Oh, by the way, Tuesday you're going to see Obi back. Obi had the day off today, but he's filling in for me tomorrow.
Yeah.
So
not even here today? I didn't even realize that. Oh my God.
If he is, I haven't seen him all day.
Yeah,
so I'm assuming not.
Okay, yeah, I guess he's not here. Yeah. Okay. Took the day off, all right. Interesting. Okay, so just real quick there. I tried to go short on AMD. Put the offer in at 95 when it was at 95. We did talk about this, why we like the short. Look where it is now. So again, still like the name, still like the short, but it's a little off right now, downside, for AMD. So we're going to have to wait for 116.95 to come in again. The reason why I want to wait for 95 is because I kind of want to give this a little bit more than 117. I'm not here just to give it 5 or 6 pennies, whatever it needs. Try to give it 10 or 15 pennies just because of some slippage and just the way this market is. Like, I don't know exactly where we're going to go. So Little bit of slippage up there, so we'll take a 116.95. We are bidding that right now. Apple made a move all the way back up. We are getting lighter and lighter on this position. Obviously, as that was not a full reload, we did have our stop order in there. Maybe we should put another bid again in the 70s. Actually, don't just say maybe, just go do it. So let's do that right now. And again, we are getting a little bit nervous, and not overly nervous about the imbalance, but there is an imbalance there. It's 826 million to buy. So what Neil and myself are always referring to are these imbalances right here. So we'll sort them by size. And there it is right now. So, you know, not too much action here, but there still is enough. Vici, Palantir with a buy. Other than that, doesn't look like a whole heck of a lot on here. But these can definitely influence the market, so pay attention to those when you do see them.
And about 5 minutes, we'll see if any of them are actually bigger than that. It's still at 800, but if at 350 it comes out like a big buy, I expect at least one of these positions to immediately stop out. I have a stop on all of them, but Intel probably stops out if it's a buy imbalance. Coinbase, I don't usually see an imbalance on that one, so I'm not really concerned with it. NVIDIA never gave you a shot at VWAP in the afternoon, but that is a strong one. All day long, up that 1%. It's only 1%. It's just compared to what's going on here on the daily, where it's broken out from. The closer it gets to 500, the more I think it slows down a bit. So the continuation is good. It's much stronger. The market's down today. The NASDAQ's down today. So that 1% actually speaks very well to NVIDIA. That report is going to be huge. They're not the only ones that you get next week. But they might be the only one that really matters. They're not the only.
Yes, I would say so. Well, there's Walmart and Target this week.
Yeah, well, no, we get the retailers this week, but I feel like next week, this is the only one that most people are going to be paying attention to. It's like anything else next week is going to be noise. You get CPI tomorrow, you get retail this week. Next week, you got NVIDIA. I mean, I care about Marvell, but like, do I really care about Marvell? Not really. And the good Marvell, the stock, not the movie.
Yeah, man, we would have, Marvell. We would have looked a lot smarter than we are, because that AMD just went down to 80s, 75 almost there, giving you that 20 pennies. We just didn't take the trade because I was ho-humming it and should not have done that. Should have trusted what I've been seeing there, relative weakness against strength. This one's relatively weak, so if the market did fall down, the risk to reward on this one was there. And we didn't take it. So for me, that's a missed opportunity for sure, but that's okay. I don't have a problem with it. We're still short Unity, which is now 30 cents in the money and just made it low again, back down to 28.05. I want to see what these imbalances have to say for themselves, and then we'll wait to see on that one. Fisker, people talking about Fisker tonight with their earnings report. So nice little run into the close. So what does this mean for Fisker? I would say nothing, but you know, nice move up there. As we talked about, what Tesla's up 5% today, so is Fisker. Lucid bouncing off $4. I believe that was almost up 5 or 6% as well. 5.5% now, taking out $4, but barely. So nice move up there for Lucid today for sure. Rivian was the same type of story, maybe up more than them, more than the rest, is it? 6, yeah. So up more than the rest is, is Rivian taking out $16 today and then making that a high of $16.40. So again, a lot of names to look at into the close for Fisker earnings. We talked about Rumble earnings. DWAC, another name here to look at with Rumble coming through. And again, you know, possible. I don't know what kind of partnerships or anything is going to happen here, but, you know, with the news of President Trump always seems to be in the news. You could watch out for Rumble and or DWAC tonight.
It is primary season.
Yep,
so.
exactly. So that makes sense. And then 329.50. Looks like we did break there. So my only trade on Meta was right there. Right when we came on the air in the afternoon, we bought that at 208. Got some out there for 30 cents. Got some out there for $1, and then $1 again. Now it dropped out. And look what happens when it breaks VWAP. It absolutely collapsed down there about 60 cents and then came immediately right back. So that's why you have to be quick on your keys when plays like this happen. And that's the advantage that we do have here trading at Day Trade the World with the P Pro 8 platform. So again, you know, thank you so much for watching. Make sure you hit the like and the subscribe.
Hola. Like and subscribe.
And starting new today.
Wrong one.
Yes, that is the wrong one. I do apologize. But starting today, you don't need to flip over. This is just going to go right into the recap show. So watch me. I'm going to run over there at about 5 minutes to go, get all set up.
Maybe don't run.
Maybe don't run. We're pretty set up, though, right now, so we could probably last for a bit. But that's what we're doing right now as we get ready to rock and roll here. Join me for the recap show. It's Fisker, it's Rumble, a few other names. And we never know what news is going to hit after hours. So.
Yeah, well, that's the other thing. Like, anything can happen after hours. But earnings is usually where you start things. I only joke don't run because there's these little cables down there that are pretty slippery.
About that.
And they're an ACL waiting to happen.
Yeah.
So, anyways, a knee injury waiting to happen. ACL, probably most people don't know what
have
I'm talking about.
ACL, so.
But,
I could definitely lose an ACL and an MCL.
fair, good point.
Some to spare.
I did forget that when I made that comment. But I'm just going to get at a couple of things flat. Well, I would punch out if one's broke on nickel, but I'm just going to jump on the bid. Like, all it could go from like a one short was into 98.5, which is okay, but it'd be much better if it fell apart. I don't think it has enough time to fall apart. And with 90 seconds to go till the imbalances, so I'm just going to get out of this one while the getting is good. In talking about NVIDIA for its relative strength, I do want to make an acknowledgement that, Meta is at a triple top on the daily. Like, at least this stock at this high, it's going sideways, and it makes logical sense that it's going sideways. Everything else is like the market going sideways, but this failing to break higher than 332 today because it's at that triple top on the daily. So I like that 330 level, but the 332, that high, I could see easily, look, it can go either way here. Above 330, I'm going to like the long. Well, I'm not here tomorrow.
Right.
Above 330, I would like the long. Underneath it, I wouldn't want to fight this thing. It could be like $5 to $7 to the downside. Just respect the triple top that it's at here. If it breaks it out, maybe it goes Microsofting.
Ooh, Microsofting.
Yeah, because Microsoft was the one that showed you better continuation off of that high break last week, which was just Friday, to be honest with you. So it's a strong name. Coinbase came out. Nikola came out. You got to have some tighter stops, I suppose, at this time of day. So I went for the short on coin here at that 92 level, but it broke it back out. Nikola, I'm just getting out flat because it's at $1. I was short at $1. Just hopped on the bid. There was no need to punch out, so I just hopped on the bid and got filled at $1. I just waited for the passive fill. The imbalances are now out. And I didn't get rid of the BKR. It doesn't really matter. NEO's the biggest imbalance at 1.2 million to sell. Citigroup, $1 million doesn't really matter usually. GM is a $1 million buy. Overall imbalance is 1.3 billion to the buy side.
Oh, buy side.
Visa is $1 million to buy. Palantir, no. 700,000 is not that big for them. Not really seeing any of the big names out here. DraftKings a small sell. There's Alphabet. 500,000 for Alphabet. Didn't see Apple on the way. Didn't see like NVIDIA or any of those. Looks like Google was the biggest one. It all adds up to a decent size, 1.3 billion to buy. But overall, not a heck of a lot from those imbalances to dig into. I'm just gonna get on VWAP on Intel because that's all it wants to move this afternoon. Really? Like, that's it.
There's a lot that's not moving. That imbalance didn't help. It's kind of doing nothing.
Right, that chart doesn't help either. You know what? My black chart's right here.
We got out, so just real quick, we're going to continue to do the same thing every day. If we're in something, you heard Neil mention the same thing, like we're getting into the imbalances, so you may want to try to close some of your positions or do this or do that. And honestly, I don't think there's any better strategies than to do that. So we got out of half of what we had left on there at 77 just before the imbalances came out, so that's at 349. Now when the move comes in, we still have something, not something like we would like to have, but we only have half left in case that went up to the upside. So getting out of that one, probably going to close out our Unity now as well, as that just bounced. I don't know if we see it. I didn't really look. I'd only have 10% left of this position and of Apple, so not too much happening right now. We're just looking for this move down, which the NASDAQ is doing, and there goes Apple. Downside, there goes Unity a little bit as well. Let's just put a bid at 06 or 07 for Unity, and then as Apple keeps on making its move lower, some potential here. So I'm going to put a bid for Unity at 08, and then Apple. If we can get 70s again, that's not bad. Remember, I got to get over to that desk. So if we can put a 75 bid, which it's at right now for Apple. So there it is right now. We'll close that one, end that trade off. So that was a good trade there. Just a ho-hum, another 25 cents or so on that. And then Unity, we're bidding 08. So hopefully we can get a move down on Unity as well to close out the day. And our negative stock, which is absolutely crazy today, is going to be Tesla. And that's because, again, we were stupid enough to go short early, but smart enough to get out of the way. So actually, that's another thing that I heard Sharif mention there earlier, and that is that there's no, people said like, oh, you're so crazy. There we go. There's Unity, by the way. Let's go. You're so crazy Look at this Unity short as well. We put this short on for you. Again, the only stock we're red, Unity, but we just get out right there, adding, Tesla and Unity we're red on. It's because I wasn't flat on Unity, but now we are. Was risk managing, right? And it's saying like, you know, people say that everybody loses on day trading, and I think that that is true. Not everybody, but people that can't manage risk. It's so easy to blow out your accounts, so make sure you do have reasonable stop orders and take reasonable risks. And whatever that reasonable is to you should be based on your account size and your tolerance and maybe your experience strategies and how they've been working in a sim mode.
There's like there's two things that you need. Like one is like you figure out what your edge is. Like what is the thing that makes me trade? Like why am I making this trade? And is it repeatable? Is it a strategy? It can be a system. It can be like a gimmick. It could be like even dollar breaks. I don't know. Sometimes they're working, sometimes they're not. So that can be your little bit of an edge. And then from there, it's just about managing risk reward. But there was a good question. Someone asked in the chat, like, can we explain imbalances? So we actually have a video about this on our other channel. We can always do it. We're kind of running short on time here, but we have a video on our other channel. So if you check out our other channel, you should be able to find a really fantastic, and I'm talking about like a good in-depth explanation of what the imbalances are when we look at them. And don't get me wrong, we can always do it here, but I'd much rather you get that than try to quickly spit one out here. And in about a minute, they're going to flip. And at 3:55, there is a major update on the floor orders for the auction, the closing auction. And so you will see a little bit of movement in the stocks. I'm now out of everything because I just got out of that Intel trade. It just came right down. And just like everything else, you really had to respect the range. Come to my chart for a second. Like Intel, like this was it. The high was 43. The bottom in the afternoon, which I didn't get, was like 23. That's like a 20-cent range. I got 15 out of it. It is what it is. Like that's the market that the stock had. So that's the range the stock had. It was no different in Amazon. Come back over here. Like Amazon, the entirety of the move this afternoon was 70. That's what you could have. You could get 70 cents on Amazon for the entirety of the afternoon. You couldn't have done better. And this is what happens, and you don't want to overtrade in that environment. So 55 just hit. There weren't many big imbalances for the closing auction. But anything that was there looks like, for the most part, we've paired them all off, which is why imbalances exist. With the exception of NEO. NEO, there's still a million sell imbalance for the closing auction. Where is NEO? You know what's going to happen? I knew this would be the case. Been waiting for that exactly $7 level on NIO. Everybody here now knows exactly when NEO is going to reprint that 7 even and possibly break it down for a flat bottom break. Tomorrow, when I am running errands and not actually on the trading floor. So lock it in. NEO is going to break this level tomorrow because I will not be here to see it. The same way when I heard Max basically spend, we were taking the subway down to Union after market one day, and it was the day before Instacart was going to report. It was like the Friday that they reported the next week, and he was going on vacation. He spent the entire train ride saying how much he believed in the short. And then, of course, was on vacation, and it was the best short that I have ever seen. Well, not ever. Well, best short I can remember on an IPO. That's all I will say. It was the best short I can remember on an IPO. I'm sure there's been better. I just can't think of one. This flat bottom break is about as obvious as it gets on NIO, being a 52-week low. It's even bounced off 7 a couple of times here on the 15-minute. Like, look at the bounces off the 7 area. When it goes, it's going to be spectacular, but that's just going to be tomorrow because I want it to be Wednesday.
Maybe it'll be Wednesday. We'll see if this market can hold up a little bit right now. So just in a couple minutes, we will flip over to the recap show. So join me there as we just continue to look for some last second trades. I just want to show you, we did get out of Unity, and then right there, sorry, not Meta wasn't what I was looking for. I was looking for Apple. You could see Apple did continue its movement to the downside just a little bit there. So, that continued. So we did get out on that break there at the end of the day. So anybody that was into Apple could definitely sort of appreciate and see what that stock just did there in the last waning moment. So, okay, that's that, man. Hopefully you guys had a good, successful day trade right now. It's going to be a good one. You can follow Neil, myself, Brendo, Sharif. We'll all be at the Raptors game. If you're there, hopefully you'll be able to see us. Neil will be the guy shooting the half-court shot at halftime.
Not a chance. Not a chance.
No?
Nah. I mean, it would be fun.
If they chose you.
It would be fun to do. It's just no one's ever that lucky. Like,
I know. And I don't know.
I'd love to do it.
I've actually never been live when, I don't know if they should do that every game. I mean,
I would make
give away like $100 grand instead of like $1 million.
I make a fool of myself. Because like
I mean.
No. I mean like intentionally. Like if I get that moment.
No, I'm trying to get it in, bro. I'm trying to make no fool.
Oh, no. I'm going to try to make the shot.
Yes.
But I'm going to make a fool. I'm going to have fun while I'm on there. How many times do you get a chance to be on court for something like that? I'm like, if that was ever me, I'm just going to go up there and take the shot.
Yeah.
Like, that's lame. That's your moment. Right? Like, you get a chance. Like, you better do something. Like, whatever it is. Like, just talk trash.
Like the gritty?
Like, you can't see me. Be like, I'll be holding up all this, posing and whatnot. Then I miss the shot, look like an idiot. But as long as I have fun. It doesn't matter to me as long as I have fun. It's all good. And then that way my daughter's like, oh, look how much of a clown daddy is. And she thinks everything I do is funny, which is great. That's like one of the best things about having kids. There's a lot of great things about having kids. It's that everything you do is like the greatest thing ever. They don't know any different.
True.
I might as well be Eddie Murphy. She thinks I'm so funny, and I'm not.
You're close.
We got 1 minute to go.
Out of here.
Esteban, can you guys explain how SSR impacts the stock after it is lifted? That's a great question. Can you hold on to that? Because I think that's not.
Fabian, I will need a water.
That's not one of those. I don't think that's a really quick answer. How about that? So I'd love for us to dive into that a little bit more. But with 1 minute to go, I don't feel as if I could do that justice to say what is the effect the day after SSR has been lifted. So let's table that one for. Can you just remember, maybe DM one of us or ask that question again. I won't be here tomorrow, but if you ask it on Monday earlier in the day and we notice it, then we can give it more breadth. I really dislike answering a question that I think is a good one and then trying to speed through it when it deserves a more impactful answer. Because a lot of traders look at short sell restrictions and the uptick rule as a bit of a catalyst to make trades. So it does matter. We talk about when it goes on. We don't talk about it when it goes off and what that can mean. But get the camera off me, put it on a door, or keep it on me. And let's go in 5, 4, 3, 2, and ring it. The funny thing is they know exactly the line I'm going to say, which is keep the camera off me and put it on Adara for ringing the bell. So, of course, Fabian decided to be very creative and keep me on camera. But a little bit different here today, although it's exactly the same. Shouting out to everybody, all of you guys that are watching the show, but to Fabian and Ramin on the 1s and 2s. New format for the midday. It's all about learning. Risk management was the topic today. Adara and Sharif doing a fantastic job. Follow her on her journey as the professor is in session daily to give her more knowledge. Shout out to Brennan keeping us abreast of the news. We had Michael Noss on this morning. That was absolutely fantastic. We got a guest for the aftermarket show. You're going to absolutely love it. But remember, you don't have to do anything. Just sit back, no new stream, just stay right here, and we're going right on over to the desk. We've got Mr. Katina, pre-Raptors, some earnings, and special guests for the market recap.
All right, welcome to the Aftermarket Show. We are ready to rock and roll. Special guest Fisker earnings on board right now, as well as we look over at our market sector recap. It should be a fun show. We're in little professional here with our Raptors gear on as we get ready for a big game tonight, as Brendan, myself, Sharif, and Neil all attending the Raptors game. Thank you so much for joining me here. Let's go. It's sector recap, it's earnings, it's trade talk, it's our trade of the day, and then we have a great Monday night football play for you as well. This show's only a half hour, so let's get the clock up and running immediately so we can make sure that we are out of here on time. Okay, what an exciting day it was here. One more time, let's go over the daily charts here. UNG, wow, what a nice move upside for UNG today. As you can see, up 6% for this name. Trying to bounce off of, again, 650 or so for United States Gas Fund right now, making that move to the upside. USO up 1.6% today. Again, on a little bit of relief rally, bouncing off the 200 period moving average here on the charts. USO, nice move up. So today we have gold upside, we have oil, we have silver upside as well. And then look at URA. Where's URA? I used to have it on here. I don't know. It got mistakenly taken away. Uranium today up another 3%. As look at uranium, we've had Michael Noss on here before just a couple times. bouncing off that 50 period, right? So look at uranium, a nice upside move off the 50 again. And just so you guys are wondering, are we going to go over some of those earnings? I have the Benzinga Pro news feed right here. As they start to pop in, we will get it for you. So as soon as I see Fisker, as soon as we see Rumble or any other news that's moving any of the markets, we will have that. And then shout out to Trade Ideas, where I have a little bit of a post-market scanner right now. So Trade Ideas will throw this down. Anything that starts moving here in the after hours will show up, and we'll have that like air right now. Realpha Tech, look at this move, $5 up to 7 right now. They rang the closing bell on, thank you so much, Ramin, on the 1st of November, but air making a move upside. So that's the kind of stuff that we're going to be showing you here as the market comes into us. We'll watch out for that. FXI, we brought this to everyone's attention. We're going to take a gulp right here. We brought FXI to everyone's attention. This is the large cap China play. Okay, so again, if you're looking at Alibaba off single day, if you're looking at PDD, you're looking at Tencent, some of the automakers as well, but you're not sure which names to buy, honestly, guys, I haven't been a huge fan of any of these big ADR names. I do still own Alibaba. I think it's like at 120 or 130. It's at $85 right now. It's pretty disgusting. But why not buy some FXI? You've seen it dip down below to 26, 27 before, down to 25, then makes the move back up there. Now hovering around the middle. I don't mind FXI. This is a large cap Chinese name. And if you're going to go back for a little bit on this one, we can go back into a weekly chart. This is what I'm talking about. There's the dip down in 2022 of October when everything was low. Huge move back up to 30 and now just kind of hovering. So if you do believe, I think it's Joe Biden traveling next week over in there to China, talk about some of the chip and some of the chip bans and so on and so forth. That's been happening. If you believe they can get anything done on the positive side, just trade some FXI, baby, and you should be okay with that one. So nice move there for FXI. What else is today? We already talked a little bit about XLE and oil. There's GLD. And I mean, on a weekly chart, again, a lot of traders won't really trade gold, but there still are a lot of opportunities to hedge. So in a day like today, although the NASDAQ's not down that much, the S&P are both relatively flat, you still do have oil up 0.5% today. So nice move up there for gold. Nice move up for gold, bouncing off the 200 period, and then a nice move. We talked about a cup and handle forming there. I think it was on the monthly, and maybe we can see that because I can't remember Michael Noss. So there it is again, cup forming out the handle right now, looking to break higher out on gold. So good little dip buy. I mean, to see that 150, huge opportunity back there like we just talked about back in August or October. So nice move down. That's October a year ago, not today. This is a monthly chart for GLD. Let's go back to a daily and see what else caught my eye. Oh, today. So again, energy today, nice move up for XOM, initiated first favor the North American lithium production. So that was nice for XOM today as well. But there it is right now, XLU. I actually wanted to bring up the utilities because that's on a downside move. But the utilities is a really interesting sector for me because I tweeted something out today. Let me see if I can go find it for you right here. I should be able to. Okay, so it's right here. So this is the thing. What is still working? Shout out to Bespoke because we'll F11 this thing here right now. So it's what's working, right? So what worked last week? Last week's market in a nutshell, what worked all year round and what didn't work? Well, last week, right, utilities up, comm services up, tech up. This is against the S&P. Look what isn't working. Utilities, real estate, energy, and a few other dot plots there. So energy hasn't been working for a very long time. We had a nice move up, but relative strength weak for energy, real estate as well. But look at tech last week, 5 points. Comm services and utilities nicely done up to the upside, which actually brought me to another thing here as we'll zoom back out, go back to my last post, and I want to talk about this. So here again, this is sectors, right? This is year to date. So look at the year-to-date sectors that are winning for us. We have the technology sector. So that's going to be your Qs, your XLK. I'm still looking out for Fisker and for Rumble, by the way. So if I see that, I'm going to get to that immediately. Look at the 5-day, right? So that's what we talked about. Look at the 50-day returns, right? So it's comm services, it's consumer discretionary. You're going to get Tesla in there as well. Industrials such as Deere and Caterpillar continues to work. You know, some of the energy names that we've talked about down downside. Look at the energy, down 3% year to date. Look at the utilities, down 13% year to date. So that was the one that was a little interesting, starting to work. But then look at utilities now. Let's get rid of this, put this back on the other side. Thanks to Bespoke for that. Look at utilities weak, right? So what's been weak continues to be weak. If you're going to play momentum, it's your friend, right? The trend is your friend. Momentum plays continue to work. Stay long and stay strong. Since this show started, we've been talking about SMH at 140. Look how good SMH was down there at that 140 level. Definitely buy some strength in SMH. We do have, again, what's been working for them. Their report coming on the 21st. So we're getting really close to that date right now. What is the date here anyways today? Is it the 14th or 13th? It's the 13th, so 1 week away from NVIDIA earnings. Amin always tries to hit the Hydration Nation every time that comes out. One more little thing from Bespoke, so don't worry about it for now. Here we go right now. This is an amazing snapshot from Bespoke here, talking about how today's market caps and the weighting is so much different than where we were just 10 years ago. Look at some of the market caps. That's 500 billion. That's 3 trillion, okay? This is only 10 years. Okay, look at the weightings that we're talking about in the S&P 500. 7% versus 2.8, 7 versus 2.4. Look at ExxonMobil's $400 billion was second in the S&P 500. You're not even sniffing that. And look at, first of all, XOM's market cap virtually unchanged in 10 years, 405, and that's pretty scary, right? Versus 412. Look at all of the biggest and the baddest. Now Berkshire, 285, 757. Why is that? 49% of their portfolio is Apple. So we'll go, is Streamlabs even open over here? Yes, it is. There's the bang for that. Look at some other names that you're not going to see. Walmart, fall from graces, right? JP Morgan. Some of these names remain in here, but some names that have fallen out. Look at Pepsi, right? Barely made the list. No longer. Pepsi out of there. United Health making a nice move to the backside on this one, cracking the top 10. When UNH, I don't even see it in here. So UNH making the move up, Pepsi making the move down, but a pretty interesting relationship right there. Interesting to note on that for some of the different weightings. And that's where we go talk about dollar cost averaging. Very important to do exactly that. So actually, we're actually all the way down now to our Trade Talk winners. I want to talk about sticking with the winners and what's been working in your portfolio. Sometimes I think it's really important just to understand, and again, we're still waiting out here. Benzinga, so iCAD out right now, Kara out with some earnings, and not that much happening right here as we'll go over and just have a quick look. Okay, cue the jokes, but Grindr looks like it's out right now, up to 635. I didn't even, oh, there's Rumble. So Rumble moving around a little bit. There's the move back into 420. Not sure if it's out, but Rumble is showing up here on the scanner. Let's go find out. And again, this is not a stock that does a huge amount of volume. So did I possibly miss the Rumble release? I don't see it on here for our Benzinga Pro platform, so I'll just click on it just to see. Oh, there it is. Okay, so it did come out at 408. Oh, just right now. Okay, so I don't know why we missed that. Maybe it didn't show up. Minus 14 cents versus minus 1. Not great there. It doesn't look like we're getting much action here in the aftermarket for Rumble at all, but a nice downside push. That reminds me, actually, I'm going to log into P Pro 8 so we can go into that. As this loads up, let's do something that we don't do often enough on this show. Again, Friday's a pretty slow day, right? So for all the traders here, this is our P Pro 8 login. You can't see what I log in as because people are going to steal my login. And again, we trade with a few shares, just a little bit of buying power. So I need to sort of keep this private. I'm just going to log in to see what's happening right now. Let's go over here. Top 10 traders by market. I knew it would be a little bit light, but we're going to show it to you anyways. So on Friday right here, top 10 traders. Unfortunately, not a big day, man. $6,000. We're just logging in right now, so get ready. I want to see sort of what the volume was on Rumble here in the aftermarket. Looks pretty light. So this is Rumble's current level 1, 421 by 430. So not much happening right there as we log into that. I still want to show I don't want to show our charts right now. I still want to show trade ideas, so we'll get that going. But let me just call up that again. So 6,000 New York NASDAQ, another 6,000. These are the markets they trade. Shout out to whoever's trading Australia right there. Bang on that one, and we'll have some calculations run through our mind. How are you making money over there on the Aussie market? Good little name right there to follow out through. So anybody trading with Day Trade the World, we have over 60 live markets. And I do want to give a big shout out to everybody watching today. Make sure you hit the like and the subscribe. There we go. Yeah, what's up, Mike Pena? You want the password. I don't blame you at all, but there it is right there. Rumble does report their third quarter. Rumble down to 425 right now. Shout out to Mike here. Kevin Gonzalez is here just in time. And I know today everyone got pushed over. So I want to say thank you so much. 2,400 people watching right now. 750 likes. Obviously, that's from the continuation. So hit the like button right now if you are part of this one. Big shout out to Bears vs. Bulls as well, passing me forward some of the super chats. We'll go over that as we go. But yeah, so just a little bit of a rundown there. As you can see, Copenhagen market, LSE, Milan, NASDAQ, so on and so forth, coming through here for these marketplaces. And then there's Canada. 2,300 in Canada is not huge. And then a couple of markets that we like to show. The Australian futures, some OTC markets there, $500 coming through, probably some GBTC, 10 cent, so on and so forth being traded on that market. And then the ICE futures coming into play as well. Well, we still wait for Fisker, so let's get rid of Rumble and wait for Fisker. I don't see anything happening right now on that one, so we'll move off of it. FSR. FSR, anything popping off for Fisker right now. I can see a little bit of movement here in the aftermarket down to 413, but that's kind of where we closed. So a little bit of an up and a little bit of move down as I don't see that report out yet. That is FSR. Okay, so trade of the day. Now, we had a couple. I'm going to actually throw a little bit of shade at myself here. And the trade of the day is sometimes going to be one where there's obviously a lot of success through it. But I'm actually going to say that my trade of the day is actually in failing, it failed to go short on Tesla, but then banging it out on the out. And that was just getting out of the way. So we were actually in the money on this trade, and thankfully, this is working out for us. So here's the downside push on the sticky note today. And this is the one thing that I always say, stick with your guns, right? And that is that trade the names that you're in and don't get too carried away. Here on the sticky note this morning, I wrote down Tesla, 213, 214. China plus some battery strength there. There was some stories there about their battery plus some strength there in China. We wanted the long for Tesla, so we were going at 213, 214. The thing is, we didn't look at it till late, and it had already bounced off 211. So I was like, okay, good thing we stayed away from that 214. And if you sort of zoom it back out, you can see some of those dip buy opportunities right here on the 20-minute chart down here was at 214. And then if you go back in, we did have some closing levels, 214, 215 right there, 214, some highs, 213. So these were dip buy levels. But I was like, okay, let's just short this name on this curl back up. We're going to go the opposite. So we short VWAP, we short the 200 period, and look at this profit that came back in. We actually got a short there at 215.50, started covering. Look at these covers, 214.50, 214 flat. So that we're like, yeah, man, we got it. Maybe the fade on Tesla is in. So we take out some profit, but then it comes right back up. And this is where it got exciting. So in and out a couple times at the 200 period, then short this pre-market high of about 217. That gave us some more profitable trades. So again, back into Tesla, making some money, but we're expecting it to dip back down. So what we kept doing was covering here. So some of these shorts, look, 216.50, that's the short. That covers that 216. That covers that 215.50, so that's a dollar club. But then as we make the move back up, we get a little confident. Short 217, miss our short. We talked about to stop, not triggering us at 217. So unfortunately, we take too big of a hit, have to get in and out there at 215. Slapped a fail on it, but this is why it's your trade of the day. We were red on this name, right? So it's a trade of the day because we get out of the way. I keep zooming out, but let's just do this. We get out of the way so we don't have to engage in this huge move up for Tesla. Once a level is broken, once that pre-market high is taken out right there, you have to acknowledge it and step out of the way. Sometimes your best trades are understanding that they may possibly turn into your worst trades. Every time I see this Raptors logo, I think it's a poppy. But we did have Remembrance Day. Shout out to that. We were actually out with the hockey team, and we were out for brunch at that time because the last game ended at 10 o'clock. Went out for brunch and did a moment of silence there in the restaurant as well. So shout out to everybody that did that. I want to say thank you for that Remembrance Day there. Everybody that served and everybody out there, a big shout out because, man, the work that goes into that is much greater than anything that I'm doing here. Just an interesting thing about Meta. We were actually longing Meta, and Meta was a great trade today. Look at this, man. This is 2022. So this is a little bit dated here. But I don't know if this is surprising to anybody. Maybe if I F11 this, we can get a little bit better. There it is. Yeah, that looks a little bit better. Can you get me off here, Ramin? Yeah, there it is. I just wanted to show TikTok down here. So most popular apps worldwide, okay? So just look at what this is. Instagram, Facebook, WhatsApp, okay? So all of these combined is not even close to anything else, all right? You also have to understand this is also Facebook Messenger as well. So add in all of these combined, you don't even, TikTok is there again, and I feel like this is gonna come back a little bit. I feel like anybody that's already on TikTok, probably there. I'm not sure if they're getting too many new users. Again, the TikTok data gets suppressed from us because it's ByteDance, Chinese company, right? Instagram, Facebook, WhatsApp, they're all under Meta. So you get, and I don't know who owns Telegram, so I'm not sure. I think it's still private, but Meta, so that's 200 plus 550 there. So you're at 750. Add another 450, that's 1,200. Add another 400. My math is probably missing something. Let's just say roughly 1,600 downloads. This is all million downloads, so it's huge. That just squashes everything else. So no matter what you believe about social media, it's poison, this and that, these guys are getting the numbers. So I want to say that every time Meta sort of dips in, I still feel like no matter how strong I think the market or how weak I think the market is, look at that dip buy. And again, I apologize because we have some wicks. There we go. That's a dip buy every day there. So we bought it, out. Now Meta does eventually take this 330, but watch out for strong support there in and around 330. Now I know we're underneath there right now, and that just happened right there just into the close. We dipped down below. I just think that Meta today in a down market still remains positive. So good little report there. Meta's report was fine. They did get hit on that, but pull back into 300. You're now seeing 330, 10% up for Meta. And I just wanted to show everybody that the dominance they still do have in the App Store. So I apologize. I thought Fisker would be something. Maybe they're coming out at 420. I don't really see Fisker out right now, but again, 411, 410 right now, the price for FSR. The other name that did report was Rumble. We were hoping for some kind of movement on that one, and it is making a move. It's down 10%, but off the close, 440 down, yeah, I guess down about 20 cents. So it was already down 5%. Give it another little bit there into that. Now, Spiro Therapeutics just out right now as well. SPRO, another name coming through. This name is familiar to Neil, myself, and all of you guys on the show because it is a dollar name. Does have the chance to run off that dollar, but again, not really moving, and I do apologize as we will try to get some names here that are coming through. Looks like Aritzia, the Canadian retailer, coming out right now. Azenta. This is not Aritzia. AZTA. Coming out right now. Aritzia has been actually pretty strong. Canada Goose has been pretty weak. They're heading into the right season. Maybe Canada Goose needs to be bought up, but there you go. AZTA, nice upside move right there off of a press release. Let's see exactly what that is right now. Yeah, so it was fourth quarter and fiscal coming through. So 25% year over year, 2% increase on an organic basis. So nice move up there for AZTA again. Pretty blah, not much happening on that one. Just real quickly here before we go, we still have a couple minutes to go. This is pretty interesting to me as well, the Fed fund rate target, right? So we talk about this and why is it important? Because sans data with CPI coming, we're going to get another jobs release, of course, coming through. But this meeting is December 13th, so we're exactly a month away. Thank you so much for that one, Ramin. 85% chance that we do absolutely nothing, 14% chance of an increase. So we'll wait for data to come through. These numbers probably change tomorrow on CPI. January coming through, again, more of a chance for an increase, but still likely that we stay the same. Look at March, then we skip. There's no February, we skip into March, and this is where it gets exciting because, again, it's so far advanced, right? It's going to be hard for me to say here in November what exactly the market's going to look like in March. You're right, Ramin, it is colder up here, I feel like right now. But this is the first sense of a potential cut. So for me, I don't want to say Fed pivot yet. I want to say Fed pause. I still feel like we do have a little bit of a Fed pause coming through on that one with a potential rate cut finally coming in March. After that, man, everything is the same. We have 73% there, 85% rate here that we remain neutral at our current rate. So for me, that's pretty interesting. We'll wait to see what comes through on that one. All right, we have a very, very interesting Monday night call for us right now. Let's get over to that real quickly. But before we do that, actually, I was gonna do roll call, but we'll do that after. Let's get over into our play of the night. This is gonna be a good one. I feel like tonight with a very, very interesting game. We have the Buffalo Bills at home. Actually, are they at home against the Denver Broncos? Hold on a second. Bills, Broncos. Why is it passing me here tonight? Yeah, it's at Buffalo Bills. Huge spread. It's going to be an amazing game. But this is what I'm looking at here today. A few things. I said Neil's not going to like this, so I'm going to open this in a new window. So here it is right here. It is Denver Broncos wide receiver Courtland Sutton. Okay? Now, the thing about playing here with FanDuel or DraftKings, you can bet on individual players and what they're going to do. Look at this. Look at his TD receptions this year. Good, 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 good. There's only been 3 games where he was yet to catch a touchdown. Tonight's game's going to be high scoring. Russell Wilson is going to throw the rock. Okay? So I believe the play for today, get ready for it, is a Courtland Sutton anytime touchdown. Now you're saying, what exactly does that mean, Sean? Well, I'm going to tell you what it means right now. This is the bet that you have to put on. Look at this. Anytime touchdown. You could bet first half, second half. Here's the anytime minus 110 for Stefan Diggs. I actually don't mind that. But is there enough value in that? I say potentially yes. But the real value is right down here. Khalil Shakir, Jaleel McLaughlin, Dalton Kincaid. Here's our boy right here. It is Courtland Sutton. Anytime touchdown score at plus 240. I say it should be closer to even money. I like this play. Let's see. He could get shut down by the corners. We'll see. I like Courtland Sutton here. Shout out to my guy, Tim, my cousin there, giving me that play. I really like it. So Courtland Sutton right now, it's anytime touchdown at plus 240. And here's the stats to back it up. 1 touchdown, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 TDs on the year without 1, 2, 3 games without. I like Courtland Sutton here for an anytime touchdown. That is your Monday Night Football play. But we can't do that without doing what's next, and that's going to be roll call. So, what's a touchdown? That's a good one. Yeah, I like that. And again, we're just having some fun here. I'm going to try to give you guys a Monday Night Football play as well as a Thursday night play, and then anything that I see throughout the week. We hit last week. We'll see if we can hit again today on that one. Just for fun, if you're watching the game, sprinkle a little bit on Courtland Sutton right there. Anytime touchdown call. All right, top chat. We'll go to this live right now. If you are watching, make sure you do hit the like button. Over 1,800 watching, 800 likes. Hit it right now. Let's get going. So we'll do a quick one right now. What's up to Jay? This is your turn, guys, right now to hit the roll call. Who's on with me right now? Whoa, I like the waves. Let me do a big wave to you guys as well. Hey-o, what's up to everybody right now that's with me right now? Yeah, you're right. I don't gamble that much, guys. I just like to sprinkle a little bit. We're going to be watching the Raptors tonight. I like the Raptors money line as well. All right, let's go. It's Daryl Flinch. It's Maurizio. Shout out to you, Maurizio. Shout out to Derek Thompson. Dr. Strange is here. Henry Chung. Dan McIsaac is here. He says, yo, 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 what's up with all these waves? Christopher, the MVE is here. Mike P, April, I love that name, April. What's up to Hugh is here. Pro Day Trader Juan Padilla is here. Ryan is here, man. We are going to have a blast tonight. Thank you so much, Ryan. Tonight's me, Brendo, Neil. We're all at the Raptors game. Should be a lot of fun. Shout out to Adrian's art. Shout out to you, Darwin, Miss A, and Pro Day Trader to wrap it all up. Okay, so again, guys, I want to thank everybody for watching. watching. We do have super chats I got to review real quick. I don't have to, but I'm going to do it for everybody. Thank you so much for the super chats today and any of the members that have come flying through. These are our total of all of the super chats that we had done throughout the show so far. Willis, Mac Attack, The Hayes Records, William Broadwick, Forex and Gold Trading, welcome back. Ian Rispetto, Plotting Profits, Ryan Richards, and Rav with the new members. But man, so much fun. You're welcome, Juan Padilla, today in the chat as well, as I know you had a lot of fun with us. So, all right, Fisker. I don't know. I don't see anything coming out on Fisker, FSR, one more play. Look, these EV names, I mean, we can go over some of them right now real quickly, as going over charts is kind of what we do best here on the show. So we'll go over a daily chart. And the thing about all these names, oh, I know something I want to talk about. Where is that thing that I retweeted? Oh, here's my Twitter. Okay, so we'll go over here. You're going to have to find this. Okay, first of all, here's my son. Watch this. Here he goes doing the gritty. They came in second and lost a heartbreaker 3-2. And look at this kid right there, putting it together. Really happy. Shout out. You obviously know it means a lot to me. Did I not tweet that out? There was, oh, here it is right here. Shout out to Gunjan. So I actually want to talk about this because this is something that is pretty important to everybody. I've been talking all about what a disaster, and we can F11 this, what a disaster IPOs have been recently. Look at all of these things, man. Next Tracker, okay, good one. ARM up 2.5. These are the IPOs in 2023. Birkenstock down 11%. Kenvue down 13%. Klaviyo down 15%. Instacart down 16%. Oddity Tech down 19%. Savers Value Village down 32%. Accelerant down 55%. They continue to go down, and in fact, 80% right now are trading below their offer prices. So I feel like it's fool's gold to get in there and start to buy any of these IPOs, because remember, the traders that are making the money are making money based on you trading it. They want to see the volume. ARM makes sense to me. We know what ARM's involved in. Potentially a good name here. Let's go back over to see maybe a 60-minute or so, as ARM hasn't been around for that long. Why is this so zoomed in here? It looks like we might have had a frozen situation here for our chart on ARM. So let me just see if I can switch it up. Tesla, is that a recent IPO? There we go. Now let's go back to ARM and have a quick look at this one. There it is, a little bit better. As you can see, ARM actually holding the $50 mark. So I like ARM here, although it's going to be a little bit down or a little bit up from its IPO, down 1.24% here. Again, get long on ARM. I feel like this is get long on ARM. So there's long arm of the law. I just like this name. Again, makes sense to me. An interesting space. Getting in there, ARM's involved with every single cell phone that's made. So watch out for ARM Holdings and their logistical unit as well. Okay, I want to give a big shout out to Michael Noss, who came on our morning show with us, and a big shout out to everybody that's here with me right now. Fisker is just one of those names that's been absolutely destroyed since IPO, right? Again, Fisker on the monthly, I don't know what's wrong with this. I got to zoom back and forth on this chart here. I feel like there's a setting that's off, but Fisker, again, down about 50%, down from $8 IPO-ish down into $4. It was a lot higher than this. Just having, there it is, having a problem with the zooming. There, look at this, $30 for Fisker, down to $4 again as we wait for earnings. Oh, we're finished. I didn't hear the alarm, but we are now done. Thank you so much to everybody for watching. We got a good game to attend today. We're sitting in the 12th row, so see if you can see us at some point tonight. It should be a good one. I'm going to say what's up to our boy Drake. See if you see me on that. Maybe he'll tweet out. Maybe he'll be like, hey, I met Trader TV Sean today. So a shout out to you, Drake, and everybody else that's out there. Go Raps. Thank you so much for joining on a casual Monday. I'm Trader Sean. Go follow me at Trader TV Sean, and all of us here tonight as well at Trader TV Live. I'm back at 8:30. Love you, my family. I'll see you later on tonight. Go Raps, go. Go Bills.